Are we ready?
We're ready.
All right. Dad jeans.
We got to go.
We got to do this thing.
We got to do this thing. Hello,
Let's
everybody.
do this. Hi, guys.
I'm Jeffrey Dinsmore.
I'm Brendan Hughes.
We are the returned, reformed Dad Jeans.
New and I'm proved.
We're the new. We have a new Brendan this week.
Yes, finally. The Brendan we sent to China is not the Brendan they sent back.
Yeah, but I quite like this Brendan, actually.
He's a lot more docile.
He's just
and has fewer opinions.
Yeah, and just a little bit less abrasive on my ears.
A little more country, a little less rock and roll.
a little more Donnie, a little less
Marie.
A little less Marie. No, I think that's. Wait, no.
Oh, no.
I think I have it wrong.
Ziggy Osmond was the one who murdered people.
Was that he was the loose cannon?
He was
of
the loose cannon. He was
clan?
all about sushi and windsurfing, and occasionally he just like killed a transient.
Oh, Ziggy.
Ziggy Osmond.
So we have some front matter, Brendan.
Do we?
Yes, we do.
One part of my front matter is cracking this bad boy.
Oh, crack it open. Crack it. Yeah. Happy 5th of July, everybody.
Happy 5th.
It'll be much far past the 5th of July.
-1 + 7 from now.
Yeah,
It'll be the
exactly.
10th.
But I was telling Brendan,
11th.
I believe that more people kill themselves on 5th of July than any other national holiday.
Yes, that's true. When they realize all the presents that the United States got are kind of disappointing.
I just thought that it was the aftershock from all the explosions in the sky.
Oh, Jesus.
The band Explosions in the Sky. They are listening to the band Explosions in the Sky.
And that would make anyone kill themselves.
The day after 5th of July.
It's the saddest music of all time.
Exactly.
And then they're like, we lost to other Texas high school high.
Yeah, exactly. They just want more Friday Night Lights.
We lost
after
to
that.
Decatur High.
Could you hand me the church key?
I sure can. And I need to tell you, speaking of the explosions in the sky.
Yes.
I live in Highland Park. Let me say this. I have two words. Oh, my fucking... I have two words to describe Highland Park last night. Weapons grade.
Mm-hmm.
I have one more word to describe it.
Okay.
Ordnance.
Yeah.
It was insane. There are two houses on either side of my house, and they war with one another.
Ooh.
It's the Lannisters and the Starks every July 4th, and they have like
the giant ones.
Yeah, no, like
the zip wangers and the buzz sniffers.
All the buzz sniffers and the zip. Yes, and the brain splitter and halfers.
The boomba rockets
and the boomstick.
Yeah. And so is that kind of cool though? Do you get like your own?
It is kind of cool. Oh, it's my own personal Boston Pops. I feel like I'm on the Esplanade looking over the Charles River.
Arthur Fiedler is right there.
Arthur Fiedler is there giving me a back massage, and somehow he has 3 hands.
Amazing.
And you know, they're firing up that Tchaikovsky.
Right.
I played crash cymbals on that song, by the way.
Oh yeah.
And there's a lot of crazy triplets.
Did you march?
Did not march. Just stood still. I was the furry guy for a while. As we discussed.
Of course.
But no, I was not with the marching band because there was just you had to stare at too many like zits in full bloom with heads.
Yeah, I was in marching band for 1 year and I couldn't hang.
Yeah,
couldn't handle it.
I don't mind like
really
just
hard.
red bumps.
And I didn't. And I was not a. I was afraid people were going to think I was a nerd.
What did you play?
I played quads.
What the fuck is that? Oh, is that those drums?
4 drums, yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Really?
I was a really good drummer.
Really?
In high school.
What?
Yeah, I quit.
Really?
I can't do anything now.
Did you ever play the Mark Tree?
I don't know what that is.
Glockenspiel?
Oh, not well.
What about the
that's like piano.
Tap Rabbit?
You have to be able to play piano to do that. I don't know the Tap Rabbit. Is that one of the fireworks that your neighbors were lighting off? No, 5th of July though. People a lot of death on 5th of July. Look it up. That's a fact.
Is it? Yeah,
That's
mostly toll booth attendants.
We need a little
and family dogs.
I don't know why. Oh yeah. No, the dogs go crazy.
Poor dogs.
We can see nothing here. We're blocked by trees everywhere. Like we were up. Hazel and I got up on the roof last night. And we were like looking out into the distance, and like we just would see the top of the corona of like every corona. Is that right?
Did you just use the word corona to describe the top of bloom of fireworks?
I believe I did, but I don't know if that's proper.
You're very well read.
A proper word. The proper word.
I'll take your word for it.
The center.
Is it?
It's like the pupil of the firework. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Fireworks have pupils.
Okay. Moving into something.
Yes.
Did I just cut you off like a million times in a row?
Dude, you're going to have to keep me under control tonight because I am bursting with information.
Oh, fantastic.
Cut me off away.
Welcome
Circumcise
back.
me.
Welcome back. Well,
did you see that documentary?
I think you came back circumcised. Actually, circumcised me when he does nothing but cut his penis off for 30 days straight.
In McDonald's and get arrested.
It's a great movie.
Starring GG Allin.
Oh, GG. Let's pour one out for him.
Yeah.
Compunction. I have a compunction from a few weeks ago. So, not really, but just something I had to mention that my friend, I was talking a few weeks ago about how I would go to frat parties in college and steal all their toothbrushes.
So good.
So my friend Dennis Hayes wrote to me and was like, what about that time, the first night that you met me and Jen, his now wife, then girlfriend? I went to a house party. They were like friends of friends. Went to a house party at Jen's house. And apparently I took all of her toiletries and put them in the bathtub.
Wait, in wet water?
No, just in the dry bathtub.
That's pretty good.
I guess it is, but I don't know. This is the first time you meet someone. I was like, what an asshole.
No, yeah. I mean, lest we forget, you pretended to be masturbating the first time I met you.
They've been friends. We've been friends for life.
Jeff, you know how to do the first moment better than anyone I've ever met.
Oh, thank you, Brendan. I appreciate that. I wasn't pretending, though.
Oh, yes, we've been over this.
Yeah. So I just had to mention that. But Dennis brought that up. I didn't remember it because I'm sure I was so drunk that I could not see straight.
So you just knew that you had to get those toiletries into the bathtub.
I just knew that was something that had to happen, yes.
I love drunk Jeff.
I guess so.
I love young, drunk, full of cum Jeff.
I probably did some rather randy things in my time.
You were known as a rand fop.
I was a little bit of I was a voracious prankster.
Bit of a dand.
Okay, fop of the week. We have a fop of the week.
Yes, we do.
Tiffany Hudson.
Oh my God!
Tell me about Tiffany Hudson. I don't know Tiffany Hudson.
I know very little about her beyond what I've experienced on Twitter recently.
She's the best tweeter I've ever seen. She's one of those people who can do like 70 hashtags. I don't know how to do that.
I know. Yeah, and it becomes its own kind of like poetry slam within one tweet.
Yeah,
it's pretty amazing.
It's so much. I can't. I haven't cracked that nut yet.
I almost tweeted out something with the hashtag hate myself on principle. And then I was like, I wonder if other people, that must have been a popular hashtag at some point. So I work with her boyfriend.
Oh.
No, this all happened in the Twitter of my head. I never actually go on Twitter. I just imagine.
You mind tweeted it.
Yeah. It's like when you go over how you're going to ask somebody out.
Yeah.
I just go over how I might tweet something.
Yeah.
And
so
I never do
you've got
it.
a stockpile for when the revolution comes. And they're like, Brendan, get to work. And you're like,
tweet.
I got a million up here.
Although I did tweet something recently that I just like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I had my phone on me, so I was like, fuck it. And I tweeted it.
Yeah? How'd that feel?
Felt pretty good.
Good for you. I think that's what it's for.
Yeah. And you know, yeah, exactly.
But I do that like now, like 10 times a day since I'm off Facebook. And I get 0 mentions, 0
Jeff,
retweets,
I'm telling you,
0,
keep chipping at that wall. It's like Hudsucker Proxy, man.
You got to try, though. You got to like brand. You got to like, you get out. I mean, I know the trick. You start following other people who you don't care about, and then so that they'll follow you back. And then you create like an army. But like, I don't know. Fuck that.
Herculean Barbine.
Yeah.
The fuck is that movie with Tim Robbins?
I think that it's called Herculean Barbine. I think that's what you're thinking of.
Hunks-to-Peen, Jehoshaphat. Bob Roberts. No, it's the one where he's in jail.
Humsucker Punksy.
That's right. That's what I thought it was, but that's not what it is.
Punxsutawney Humster.
It's Bill Murray. It keeps happening to every. No, it's with what's his name who plays God in all the movies.
Hudsucker Proxy.
No, that's the other one by the Coen brothers.
What's the other one? Oh, yeah, no, you're right. Sorry. Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Now I forget why I was thinking about that. Oh, I remember.
Brian L. Perkins just smashed a hole through his radio.
I know, because whenever we're searching for something and then we come up with the wrong thing, everyone listen, you guys, it's much more difficult to be sitting here at the microphone.
Staring into each other's beady eyes.
Beady.
All night. Brian, I'm turning into a giant ham in front of Brendan right now.
I'm just licking my chops. Exactly. That's all it is the whole time. We are in a rowboat and you keep turning into a T-bone steak.
Cartoon, yeah.
This is the Hudson. No, I did it again. This is the Shawshank Redemption. Keep spooning the dirt in your cell, and by that I mean tweeting the funny shit
Okay.
And eventually freedom, bro.
Oh, I love
Eventually
that.
you're climbing through a tunnel full of poop.
Well, that's good advice. But so Tiffany Hudson,
Oh, yeah.
she's just been such a stellar
Awesome. Totally awesome.
conversation partner on Twitter. And it's like that world where I'm like, oh, finally, there's someone out there. There's someone else out there, you know? And
who's listening?
yes, and she's listening, and she's tweeted some really awesome things. So everyone
it is
follow
pretty fabulous. Yeah.
at Tiffany Hudson.
Tiffany Hudson,
I believe.
who also, so she is the lady friend companion of my workmate and pal, Mike Stelmar.
Okay.
Also a listener.
Okay.
They were the ones who, driving to Arizona, would play,
sure.
stop, discuss.
Our road trip friends.
Yeah, road trip friends. We're good for road trips, you guys.
We are great for road
and 10-hour
trips.
flights.
And 10-hour flights.
And she is an actress, from what I gather, and plays the quirky best friend, from what I also gather.
Okay.
And
on a thing, or that's sort of her.
I think that's her. She has
role
announced
of choice.
Yeah, that is her type.
Oh, that's a good type.
I've not gone so far as to see if she's in anything that I might.
Well, we're going to find out because we're all going to follow her. Now.
Yeah, you guys.
Look
not
her
only
up
should
on
we
IMDb.
follow her. Yeah, exactly. We should all look her up on IMDb because you know what? That spikes her star meter.
Yes, do it.
Let's spike Tiffany's star meter.
Do it. This
Tiffany
week we're
Hudson.
spiking the star meter.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, I think we've already got this episode's title.
We didn't name last week's the last episode.
corn-fed.
America's rock hard for his corn-fed face.
Oh, we changed that.
This
Too
could be
bad.
the sequel.
Too bad. Yeah. Or it could be spiking the star meter, or America is rock hard for his corn-fed face. I don't know.
Thank you, Tiffany.
Okay, and I also want to say up front, Spite-tacular is coming up. We need way more calls.
It's
we
two
need
away.
Anyone who is listening right now, call us.
You must hate something.
323-484-4383.
Yep.
Call us. Tell us something you hate.
Yep.
We'll determine whether or not it's funny. If
Yep.
it's terrible, we're not going to put you on the air. If it's awesome, we're going to put you on the air, and you're going to be a superstar.
You are.
Because we know that we have a lot of listeners out there who have not yet called in.
Oh, that's true.
We want to hear your voices.
do.
This is not a pressure thing.
No.
This is not a you're going to disappoint us.
No.
This is a we love you so much
Yeah.
that we want to showcase what we love about you on the air in the form of you saying something that you hate that we can then discuss.
Disappointment, I think, is something, however, that it should be. I mean, in the interest of full disclosure, I come pre-disappointed. That's just life lately.
You come pre-disappointed to what?
Everything, every situation.
To all the spites that are coming in, you're just going to be disappointed by them.
I haven't heard them, but
you're disappointed.
I'm underwhelmed.
Well, so overwhelm Brendan on this one. I think this is the day. You need to overwhelm him.
Yeah.
With emotion and love.
Yes.
That's how good your spites are going to be.
Oh, I can't wait to hear these.
I'm very excited.
I
to hear
fucking
them, too.
love hating shit.
Yeah, don't be embarrassed. Don't be shy.
And let me say this:
We're very kind. We're not going to mock you.
We will not mock. No. Mockery is not comedy. Mockery is not comedy.
No.
In the words of Ming Cho Lee,
Yes.
the personal is the universal. The more specific and the more you think no one else could possibly feel this way, the more people will feel that way on a deep level.
There you go. So bring it.
Bring it.
Bring the spite.
Bring that shit.
Do I have anything else up front? Is there any more front matter? I don't think so. I think we're good. I think we're through the front matter. No, we're not. One more thing. I want to give a final shout out. We sort of unceremoniously left off the last 2 weeks of June.
Oh, didn't we?
But I want to give a final shout out to our
bonus
sponsor, Workman Air Wines.
Workman Air.
The promo code no longer works, so I hope you used it. It was Jeans 15. It's no longer Jeans 15. You could try it.
Try it.
Who knows? Maybe he hasn't disabled it.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's their IT guy over there? Who knows what that guy's up to?
I'll tell you what he is. Probably fucking shit-faced all the time.
He's sitting there drinking wine all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not doing any IT for you,
He's just having a company meal. He sits
Hire
by a
me.
barrel.
I need a job. Get me out there working on your farm, doing your computers. I'll give you promo codes like you never knew.
Do you have any jobs where I would do the computers?
Yeah, I'll do the shit out of those computers, Michelle. But Workman Air Wines, they're a great sponsor. We were so happy to have them.
Yep.
Visit workmanair.com, and if you see their wine in the store, just buy it.
Buy that.
Just buy the shit out of it.
I know. It
Delicious.
retails for a lot, but trust me, put it in your throat.
It retails for the proper amount of money for a wine of this quality.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah,
I would not agree.
It retails for far less actually than it should, given the quality of the wine.
And now we're looking for a new sponsor, aren't we?
Now we need a new sponsor.
And micro sponsors that buy us beers.
Yeah. I've also dumped my AA sponsor. So I'm looking for a new one of those, too.
Well, you probably gave him the pitch, like, I'd like you to buy me beers for my podcast night.
Yeah, it didn't.
And he was like, where are you listening?
No one wants to take me up on this one. It's so funny. I keep going to these meetings.
I'm like, look, we're just looking for sponsors. Just $10.
Seriously, who wants a drink?
You guys are boring the shit out of me.
Glug, 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 glug. That would be amazing. The prankster. I think Improv Everywhere needs to tackle that one. Take down Alcoholics Anonymous, you guys.
Throw a frat party in it.
I just knew it would be the best night of their life. Have you heard that This American Life where about
Ghost of Pasha?
Yeah.
The saddest thing ever.
It's so sad, and it makes me hate improv everywhere.
I
mean, many things make me hate improv everywhere. Mm-hmm. But that guy talking about it, where he's just like, I just thought it would be great, and then they give that other kid a birthday party. Like, basically, their tricks are designed to make people feel like they're insane,
and they're being left out of something. They're very exclusionary.
Very exclusionary.
Meanwhile,
and yet like cloaked in a mask of inclusion,
right?
Like, yeah.
And the yes men, on the other hand, are the exact opposite. Where cloaked in a mask of exclusion, they include the world.
Oh, there you go.
Like when they went on the BBC.
Well, they have a point.
Yeah,
I approve of that kind of prank.
Yeah.
That's a prank in service of something. And also it's like how fucking like there's so little you can do in the political space that's actually funny and interesting. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, it's just like what do we have before? Like people making giant paper mache rats or something, like banging on drums. Like that's hip political theater. And like, and like for the yes men to actually do something cool with political, they're
the coolest.
They're no
guys
capital
ever.
steps, but
they should add an acapella element.
Exactly.
To
I think that's the next
apologizing for the Bhopal disaster.
Exactly.
Union Carbide.
See, yes, man, give us a call. We've got ideas. Okay, shall we move in?
Oh, let's
move in to what's our first one?
You have a mommy blog, do you not?
Well, I have mommy blogs, but we have
so many things.
So many things in so little time. I think I'm going to skip it, but I've got some for future weeks.
Okay, in the bank.
So do we start with one toe?
Yeah, maybe for old time's sake.
Okay, one toe in the cool.
One toe.
You put your one toe in, then leave it in. You're done.
Brendan, after you.
Well, let's say I made a list because there are a number of things.
Oh. He just threw his pen down.
Yeah.
And put his arms are akimbo right now.
I went arms akimbo.
He looked very virile.
Mouth agape.
Yes. Pucks a tawny.
Shaw Shank Redemption.
Shankly. Okay, go ahead.
I must have already talked about Misha's telethon on the air.
Well, I know a new season of GISHWES is coming up.
And I had to... Oh, did I not talk about the
telethon? No.
Oh, okay. So he had this great wacky telethon.
Do you want to explain who Misha is and what your relationship is to this gentleman?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I donated him a kidney.
Uh-huh.
Which he
that was
then
good.
used.
Just so he would be your friend.
Basically.
He didn't even need the kidney.
No, I just wanted to meet him.
Yeah. He was hungry.
And what was I doing with it? Yeah, exactly.
Like,
and he made an elaborate art prank where my extended family ate my kidney.
Oh, that's adorable.
While I watched on a closed circuit screen.
Improv everywhere. medical improv everywhere.
So a friend of mine is... runs it stands for the greatest international scavenger hunt the world has ever seen.
There you go.
A scavenger hunt, and he comes up with these wacky. He's just a genuine like artist in the greatest sense of the word,
right?
And he had a telethon live on Facebook, and he has a counterpart, this other guy Philip, who's a darling human being, and the two of them are these just dynamos.
Darling, the way you talk about this guy. Brendan won't let me, for the record, Brendan won't let me be anywhere near him when Misha is around.
Oh, God, no.
He's like so embarrassed by this side of his family. He's like, oh, I don't know that podcast. What is podcast?
I just go to my friend Jeffrey's house and we fiddle with microphones.
I don't know that fella. Excuse me, sir. Don't you have somewhere else to be? panhandle over there.
Don't you have a home?
But I'm your best friend. I thought I was your best friend.
I don't recognize you.
That's what it's like
It
when
is.
Misha
Yeah,
comes
yeah,
around.
very sad.
So, okay, go ahead. Sorry, keep going. So they're doing
You
this
have your own
Facebook-
individual relationship with Misha.
I have a relationship of antipathy with him.
Completely coincidentally and outside. Anyway, so he held a live telethon on Facebook, and
Okay.
Philip. Maybe I shouldn't reveal this on the air, but anyway, the two of them had to correspond with all these volunteers and stuff.
Okay.
And it was really funny. It was just like crazy. Everyone wore white. It was just like nuts. And it was sort of like a take on the telethon. They weren't raising money. They were getting GISHWES like participants.
Okay.
But they were just making all these fake phone calls, and it was just all kind
On
of like a
Facebook
gas.
Live?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. It was really funny.
Okay.
Anyway, they had created this person named Dexter who was the person who ran the telethon, and they had created a whole email thing, and he had a LinkedIn thing. They're constantly creating fake people because these two guys do everything, but they don't want the world to know that. And so he called me and he was like, "I need you to be the physical embodiment of a guy named Dexter who I've created, who's super angry as a person,
Wow.
and really stressed out and hasn't slept for 3 days."
Oh my God.
And that's sort of the persona that we've created for him / now you. So I
Right.
need you to come and sort of just be the face of this guy.
Okay.
And it was great. It was so fun. On a Saturday morning, I went and I had all these conversations with people where I'd be like, "Hi, I'm Dexter," and then one would be like, "I'm the woman who almost got the tattoo."
Oh my God.
And then I'd be like, "So."
They thought you were a
did you ever
person?
get it? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. They'd had extensive correspondence with.
But this
guy.
was all remotely?
Email
You were
and
like,
stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Were you angry?
I tried.
Yeah.
As best as I can be.
But were you actually filmed? Like, were you actually?
Oh, I was on film at a certain point, but not
Okay.
necessarily as Dexter person. I was just like one of the people on the phones. or
Oh,
whatever.
okay.
But it was more for
Amazing.
the volunteers who were there. There were like 50 people.
Okay.
And so they all needed there to be a Dexter for whatever like wacky reason that Misha and Philip cooked up.
Uh-huh.
And so I went around. And so when I said that, I said, "Well, did you ever get the tattoo?" And she was like, "I have dozens of tattoos." Like every, so I was like, what? Oh, so she was referring to a specific one.
Okay.
Or, did you ever get a tattoo? Like,
Right.
I kept getting it wrong.
Right.
So I would have, and Misha was really funny. He was like,
But she thought that you were supposed to know who she was?
yeah, because I had so many.
Oh, I see. Okay.
The fake Dexter had so many
I see.
email exchanges with her.
I see, okay.
And Misha was really funny because he was like, "You're going to have a lot of confusing conversations." And
Uh-huh.
that's maybe how it should be. I mean, I would fill you in, but it might be more fun for you to figure out, like grope your way through these conversations with people.
Okay.
All of whom feel like they have a personal relationship with you.
Oh, amazing.
And it was great.
Wow, that is fun.
Yeah, it was really fun. So like even on that level, he's like thinking about an artistic way to do crazy shit.
How interesting. Well, how cool that you got to be a part of that. Are you
was very fun.
going to participate in GISHWES?
I always promise myself, but it happens when my family's on Cape Cod.
How about that?
So I can't
Can't do it.
do it.
But it's a big thing.
Yeah.
Go.
Oh my God, it's a big, it truly is one of the greatest international scavenger hunts the world has ever seen.
Is it happening now?
It happens first week of August.
Oh, what was he before? I mean, now he's on a TV show, so he's an actor of some note.
Right.
But when he started this thing, was he just a guy?
No, he was already on that TV show. That TV show's been on for like 10 years.
Oh, really?
It's just if you're not a teenage girl, you've never even heard of it.
So he had the reach because of the TV show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he has like
To
a
turn
giant
this
Twitter
into
following.
a big thing.
Yeah, exactly. And it's amazing. Like, here's how to be when you find yourself weird, like
Supernatural is
happenstantially
the
famous.
show?
That's
Yeah.
the show.
Okay.
And if you find yourself happenstantially famous,
Yeah.
do what he does and like create an army of good doers and pranksters and
Yeah.
like build orphanages in Haiti and shit like that.
I mean-
like this is so not wasted on him. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
So
No,
many
that's
people
good.
just like just drink more and get a nicer car.
Oh, that's exactly what I would do.
Me too.
I'd be looking out for number one the entire time.
Yeah, numero uno, baby.
I don't give a fuck about Haiti. Come on. Come on, you
I know,
guys.
but something about this guy was raised right. He was like, "Oh, I'm famous. Well, then therefore I'm going to start building orphanages."
That is
and
pretty
shit.
impressive.
It's kind of awesome, and he's like tireless. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, that guy does a lot. I gotta say, I still hope to meet him someday.
You know him.
I know I've met him, but I've barely met him.
You
If I
have a
ran across this
completely
guy in a
separate-
dark alley, he'd like run the other way.
He would probably hug you to death because he's such
Maybe
a lovable
would.
guy.
Well, okay, good for you.
Anyway,
Is he a listener?
So I did that. No, God, no. I don't think he even knows about this thing.
He doesn't know about podcasts.
No one really- yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. You're just like You're just like, no, I don't do anything like that. Podcasting?
Right,
That's
yeah.
for losers, right?
Give shit away for
hunts,
free.
that's where it's at.
This is
Okay.
the only other very quick
Tell me
thing
what
I'll
other
say.
cool things you did. About this. Wait, okay.
No,
Sorry.
not about this.
Okay.
But we had that horrible. The person who lived in the house before me thought that like pure bluish white walls. No offense, but I see an accent wall over there.
We do.
Just white everywhere, just ice cube.
White as far as the eye could see.
White as far as the eye can see
Sterile.
is a good thing. Sterile.
Yeah.
I don't like bluish white. I like an eggshell.
Okay.
I don't like cold white. I like a warmer white.
Okay.
Or get to work. Get deep down into the color rabbit hole.
Let's do that. Let's
Let's
go cray.
Cray.
Yeah.
So we had that horrible bathroom, and it was just disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
And it was terrible white, and it was just horrible place to be.
Okay.
Not somewhere you'd want to poop.
Right.
But it's the only place you can
And
poop.
the only place you want to be when you're a father is in there.
Yeah.
So you're like, every time you go in there, you're like, this is miserable.
It's miserable.
Yeah.
So you know what I painted it?
Do tell.
Nantucket Red.
Oh.
So suddenly you're in a Victorian in like
What's
Newport, Rhode
Nantucket
Island.
Red?
Nantucket Red, it's funny you should ask, is I happen to know, is a type of pants that rich men wear to signal to one another they've been to Nantucket.
Is it like a salmon?
It's a deeper red than salmon. Salmon is too orange.
Okay.
But it is a very pleasing red. It announces itself with a certain authority. You are
Okay.
definitely wearing red pants, yet there's a dusty rose thing going on.
Is it really called Nantucket Red, or you
yeah.
just made that up?
Oh no, it really is.
Oh, wow.
The Nantucket Red is this pant that
Okay.
rich men, is a mating call for the rich, but it is also the color I chose for my bathroom.
Interesting.
Maybe coincidentally, or maybe I was like, ooh, Nantucket Red, because I
Right.
love the East Coast. I love Victorians.
Sure.
I want to live in one.
Yeah.
And now, you used to go into our bathroom and be like, oh, maybe 28-year-olds
miserable. I've almost
live
murdered
here.
myself in there.
Yeah. But now
Yeah.
you walk in and you're like, oh, 40-year-olds who have their shit together live in here, live in this
Wow.
house.
How about that?
Yeah.
And is there any? Did you do any cool like little accents? What are the walls? Look, you put
Oh.
any pictures up or anything?
No pictures yet.
Okay.
But soon
That's
enough.
coming.
Yeah, I think when you sit on the toilet, you should be staring at like this like macro photograph of Oscar's butthole.
I think that's a great
So
idea.
gross. Just to harken back to a very early episode of
Yeah,
Bad Genes.
no, it's always good to talk about the Oscars butthole as much as we can. That's awesome. That is
Yeah.
a very cool
Yeah.
thing. that
I
you
now have a
did.
red bathroom, and it feels like
You've come of age.
I've come of age.
You're there.
I'm there. I've
You're-
come of age in my bathroom.
You're up.
I come of age in my bathroom whenever my family leaves the house. Jeffrey.
Hey, what?
I do immediately, just like Louis C.K. does, take the biggest poop I can. Even if I have nothing in the chamber,
Yeah.
I just go and sit there.
Yeah.
And no one bothers me.
Good for you, man.
It's pretty great.
Shove it out there into the world. Are
That's
those are your only toes?
Yeah, that's all I got.
Are you sure you don't have more?
What about the pipe furniture?
We've been gone for several weeks.
We have. Did I already talk about the pipe furniture?
Nope.
Really?
Nope.
God, been gone a long time. I got my hipster card, Jeff.
Okay.
Okay. Emily and I, we had this African mahogany that was left over from the shelves we built.
Okay.
And we went to the store, or the hardware store, and we
Yep.
got pipes cut and threaded, because you can be like, give me 32-inch black 1-inch galvanized threaded pipes.
Okay.
And they do. They just hand it to you 10
What does
minutes
that mean?
later.
Threaded pipes.
Threaded means like the screwing. You know how you can screw, like the screw spiral? That's what threaded means.
Well, I know the spiral on a screw, but how is a pipe threaded? What does that mean?
So you're holding a pipe, and
Right.
each end has that screw. You can screw it into something.
I see. Okay.
And then we got the joins,
Yeah.
the
Joists.
couplers,
Couplers.
and some flanges.
Couplets.
A flange apparently is like a
Phalanges.
circle with a thing.
Yep.
So you can screw it into a thing.
Bob's your uncle.
Yeah.
Up the butthole.
and we built ourselves a very hip desk
Wow.
out of black pipes and African mahogany.
How'd you get that idea?
She found it on YouTube or some shit.
Just love it.
And we
love
fucking built it ourselves. It
That's
was very
awesome.
romantic. We just bickered,
Oh,
and
that's
then
fun.
the furniture was there.
That's fun to build things.
It kind of is.
It's fun to do projects.
It is.
I haven't done enough projects yet in my house.
It's coming for you. You need a year just to let the dust settle, and then you're going to
Yeah.
start not doing things on weekends and just this is what we just did, and just work on the house. Just build yourself furniture and shit.
I wish.
Paint.
I wish. We do need to do some of those things.
But this is pretty ready made. I mean, your house is pretty great.
It's there. There's stuff that definitely we need to do. There's like structural stuff. The backyard is nothing. It's a mess. But we just had a party there yesterday. Our first party. We invited you to.
I know. I'm sorry. Did I respond?
Elsewhere. Yeah, you said you were elsewhere.
I'm sorry.
You said you were out
wanted
of
to
town,
be
but
here.
you weren't out of town.
We canceled at the last minute.
So
I haven't been doing very well.
you did something with Misha, didn't you?
No, I promise we didn't.
What did you do?
Yesterday?
Andrea Mellers?
Nothing.
Huh. Oh, okay. I'll accept that.
Late at night we did go to Brian Kahn's house and Lana Wilson's.
Well, anytime you go to Brian Kahn's house, it's fine.
It is,
You get
yeah.
a pass on that. Brian and Lana, you are my pass. I allow Brendan to hang out with you. It's fine. But anyway, so okay, my cools.
Let's hear it.
I heard my tagline is on NPR now every day. Have you noticed this?
No, I'm not. I'm just on podcasts these days.
Stars is like sponsoring is one of their corporate
Like an
sponsors.
underwriter?
Yeah, and so they're like Stars. It's obsessible.
Shut
Like,
up.
Yeah,
Wait, does Steve Inskeep say it?
it's one of the people, one of the local.
Oh, one of those people with the giant tongues.
Yeah.
Like, do you have a speech impediment? Would you like to have a job in radio
It's
announcing?
not Ira Glass, no. But it's one of those. No, it's one of the local. Whatever.
Lunchbox.
I don't know who says it, but
Oh, on like KCRW, KPCC, those jobbies?
yeah. But I'm. It's there every day.
Obsessive.
And then there was a big.
I'm so proud of you.
There's a big Stars ad campaign in by the ArcLight in like Hollywood.
Really?
Like giant building size campaigns.
And it says obsessible on it?
Yes. Oh, it says for your obsession actually, which I worked on as well.
I see. But Jeff, you invented the word obsessible.
I know, but it does me no good, Brendan, because I have no work right now. I thought like when I did this, I was like, this is my ticket to the major leagues.
Yeah.
No.
But listen.
No one wants me.
Listen to me.
No one wants
Listen
me.
to me.
No one wants
Listen
me.
to me.
Brian Kahn?
Look at my face.
Can you hire me?
Listen to me.
Yeah.
Because obsessible is getting so much traction in the world, it will be in dictionaries starting next year. Jeff, how many writers can say they fucking invented a word? This is how words going to get put into dictionaries and become invented.
What am I, Shakespeare?
Jeff, you invented a word.
Well, thanks, Brendan. I appreciate you saying that. I don't know if I did, though. It existed before me.
I invented a word in high school. You know what it was?
Nope.
Glarch.
No.
And I never made it happen.
That could have.
I kept trying, but I couldn't make Glarch happen.
What does Glarch mean?
We were trying to come up with a word. Me and my buddy Tom were kind of trying to come up with a word that was more offensive than cunt.
Oh.
And
pretty good.
It just was a phonetic swear. We were trying to make up a new swear.
Yeah. My friend Mike Segreto came up with a word that is in my vocabulary to this day. It is a not an interrogative, an imperative. What's it? Just like a thing you say, like wow, like what's
an
that called?
exclamation.
What part of speech is that?
Yeah.
But it's
blurtation.
It's a when you're confused and when you're confused and upset about something, you say "Mafricula."
That's pretty
I
good.
used to say it all the time. What, Mafricula? It's really good.
But
That sounds like a word.
Mafricula. Mm-hmm. My brother went to college with a guy whose name was Don Q, or maybe Don Quinberry or whatever, and so Donk was his nickname.
Sure.
And he coined redonkulous,
Oh wow!
and that's gone
Way
around
back
the world.
then?
Yeah. This was like mid-90s Brown University.
It had to be Zeitgeist. The Zeitgeist had to do that.
I wonder.
Yeah.
Redonkulous.
I don't know.
It's pretty good.
That's all right.
You know what I made up in high school?
What?
Zuh.
Before
Pizza.
pizza?
Yeah.
That's a Scrabble word. You're in the Scrabble dictionary, Brendan. Good job.
Zuh.
But so that was exciting.
That is exciting. Sorry. I took
That's
that
okay.
away from you. See, I came too amped up tonight.
It's fine. There's nothing else to say about it. We had our first party, which was exciting.
But
I don't really have anything.
Sorry,
to
I
say
missed
about
it. That makes me feel sad.
Yeah, it was great. It was fun. It was
That's cool.
it was all kids. It was
Oh, yeah.
Like, and I feel bad because I actually didn't invite a bunch of people because I was just like, we'll just have our friends with kids here.
Well, you have to do it though. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Invite people who don't have kids? They
Well,
don't understand.
exactly,
They don't get it.
They don't want to come to this thing.
I wouldn't want to if I didn't have kids.
Full of kids.
And you only come when you do have kids. It's not like you're like, this is awesome. You're like, oh, this is a relief.
Yeah, you're like, look at all these fucking kids.
Yeah.
But it was amazing because Hazel and our good friend Matt Ransford was here with his twins, they're both 7, I believe, and they and Hazel, the entire party, which lasted from 2 until 7, they were nowhere to be seen. They were
Really?
just off in a corner, like exploring each other's bodies. Or something.
Playing El Doctor.
Yeah. No, I peeked in on them a few times to make sure that none of that was going down. But they were having a good old time. And it was amazing. This is a good age. 5 is a good age, bro.
Where they just like split.
They just split.
You just don't know where they are.
Having a good old time.
Oh, it's great.
Yep.
Getting into the family lewds. Mm-hmm. I know that Matt Ransford has twins.
Yes.
Yet I consider them, I always think of them as being 7 and 4.
Really?
Yet I know they're twins.
Uh-huh.
Yet to me, Matt Ransford has 2 children. One is 7, one is 4.
Why is that, do you think?
No earthly idea.
How interesting. Well, they are twins. Does one seem significantly more immature than the other?
I've
You've
never
never met them.
No.
You just have that in your brain.
Were they born 3 years apart by any chance?
They might have been. Yeah, there was some like fetus and fetu thing. I think I think Reese, the boy, was actually born of Gretchen,
Oh, I see. He was trapped in her uterus.
or he had to be extracted through some medical procedure.
Oh, this was turducken syndrome.
It was something like that, yeah. Yeah. No, they're good kids. My other final one, Toe. We finally had our spring fair. You remember the one that was canceled?
Did you go? Did you bother?
I worked, and I actually didn't. I actually had a good time.
How many hours did you put in?
Not well. Okay, so the day before I worked probably 4 hours,
Christ.
and then the day of I worked from 8 a.m. until 2 p.m.
I don't have 4 hours to rub together to do anything.
Yeah, no, I mean it's not easy. They really asked for too much at this school.
Well, but the tuition's reasonable, right?
Yeah, right, exactly. It actually, I mean, it's cheaper than our babysitter was, but it's still no great shakes.
Barely.
It's still no great shakes.
How did Moby do?
He wasn't there.
Ugh.
He couldn't make the second.
How did
show.
James Ehad do?
He seemed good, but the cool, the one toe in the cool slash I'm proud of my daughter part of it all slash only in LA kind of thing was that. So I've told you this before, that Kristen Bell's child goes
Yes.
to her school. So Kristen Bell sang songs from Frozen.
Wait, and she was
She was the girl.
Princess
Yes.
Clomarinza.
Yeah, she was Princess Clomarinza from Frozen.
Princess Mavricula.
Yeah, Princess Mavricula. Anna, actually.
Oh, I knew it was something like that.
But she sang songs. She sang the songs from Frozen.
That's insane.
It's insane. And like,
That's like Julie Andrews singing the songs from Sound of Music.
yeah, exactly. I mean, it's that big, you know, it's that much of a phenomenon, this
Yeah.
Frozen thing. But like Hazel loves Frozen as much as any other 5-year-old girl, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But I was working at the food counter and Hazel comes rambling up while Kristen Bell was performing, and I'm like, Hazel, isn't that awesome? Like that's the girl who played Anna. And she's like, yeah. I was like, she's singing on stage right now.
Do you realize?
The person who did the voice in this cartoon that you watched. And she's like, she's like, can I go play some more games? And I'm like, yeah, that's fine.
That's so
Just
punk.
so blasé.
It's so
blasé.
badass. It's so
LA.
gangster.
Yeah, there's another celebrity singing some songs that I know. There's Mariah Carey doing. I don't know. I guess I probably wouldn't be that excited to see Mariah Carey either. But
I know. There's Christopher Lloyd doing his Jim Ignatowski routine.
that would be good. I like that you just pulled that one out of the
I would
hat.
fucking lose my mind.
You would.
That's
go
the
crazy.
thing that I couldn't possibly be like.
If
can
he
I
was
go play
Doc
games?
Brown, you'd be like, yeah, I got
Yeah,
other
Doc
shit
Brown.
to
Yeah,
do.
whatever. Yeah, but he was doing Jim Ignatowski. Please.
Yeah, that would be a whole new level. Okay, let's move on
Oh yes, let's.
to what do you got next?
I have an either way.
Let's do it.
Okay, here it comes.
The things you loved and didn't love. Either way, they're gone.
Ready? Here's my other way, Jeff.
Go.
Okay.
Go. Sorry, I just got a burst of energy.
oh yeah, because Jeff and I actually ate a watermelon that I had syringed with HGH before we started the podcast. Let's steal a car.
That's the 5th of July, baby. All bets are off.
All butts are off,
All
as
butts
Jeff
are
just
off.
said.
Have you ever seen the Iron Sheik's Twitter feed, by the way?
No.
Speaking of.
Wait, you mean the wrestler from the 80s?
Yes. His Twitter feed is the best thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It's
so
always
awesome.
all in caps and in broken English, and he's like, "You," and everyone's a big time jabroni. He's like, "You big time jabroni."
Have you listened
Sorry,
to the
go ahead.
Radio Lab about professional wrestling?
I haven't. No, I didn't
Do
know such
yourself
thing
a
existed.
favor.
I can't wait.
It's pretty good.
Cannot wait.
Okay.
Either way, it's gone. Professional wrestling.
I have a major preamble to this, though.
Okay.
Okay, let me start by saying this. My either way it's gone. The thing that I miss or don't miss about the time before I had children is reciprocal curiosity.
Reciprocal curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to munch on those words for a minute.
Yeah, go ahead and munch on those for a moment. Yeah, it's sort of like a pretzel croissant from the City Bakery on 18th Street outside of Union Square in New York.
That sounds amazing.
I just said the most pretentious thing I'll say tonight.
I think you did.
But they're really good, the pretzel croissant.
It sounds delicious.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So anyway, that's what reciprocal curiosity tastes like.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the
Are you looking at the box scores?
no, I'm looking at the Iron. I'm looking at the Iron Sheik's Twitter feed.
That's so good. Okay, so let me preface it by saying this. You and I, Jeff, are white men in our 40s.
We are.
And for the last 1,000 years, 99% of everything horrible was done by white men in their 40s. Can I get a witness on that one?
Before when?
For the last 1,000 years.
Oh yeah. No,
Everything
we're
horrible has
well,
been done.
I would say probably not for the last 1,000.
I'd say starting 1,000, starting with the invention of eyeglasses.
Everything horrible in our frame of reference. I think there's
In
probably
the Western
plenty
world.
of shit that North Koreans are doing to one another. And
Oh, sure.
There's probably all over the world.
Oh, 99. There's 1% that is being done by non-white men in their 40s.
Okay.
But the other 99% of fucking hideous shit
Yes.
done in the world in the last 1,000 years probably decided on by white men in their 40s.
You're a self-loathing white man, aren't you?
Well, I have the frame of reference necessary to say
Yeah.
that I don't experience a ton of reciprocal curiosity these days. There isn't a lot of, but how are you? You know what I mean? But
Oh.
I don't deserve it. No white man in their 40s does.
Okay.
Because of course, I have to atone for 1,000 years of hideous events that have occurred. So no one by rights should necessarily be curious genuinely about how I'm doing.
But are you curious about them?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's like what? Tell me more.
You're
Yeah.
saying even when you're talking to another white man in his 40s that there's that man, you don't deserve that man's curiosity.
I don't enjoy other white men in their 40s. I try to avoid them.
Really?
Do
I'm
you?
one of those.
No, you're the only one
Misha's one of those.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
Bill Burr's one of those.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, you get me there. There are some seriously awesome exceptions to the rule.
No, but okay. All right. Well, let's backtrack.
Okay.
I keep cutting you off.
It's quite all right. You're going to have to all night.
Let's get back into this.
Let's get back into this thing.
Give
Here's
me
the
some
thing.
context for this observation.
Okay, so you have I just had a conversation with who the fuck? I had a conversation with my dear friend Catherine,
Okay.
and we were talking about how
Is she a white man in her 40s?
nope.
Okay.
She sure ain't.
Okay.
No. But she comes over of a Friday night and sits by the fire and drinks a martini with us.
You do that?
Yeah, Friday nights. They say they live in South Pass, about a mile away.
Cool.
Catherine and Gassan, dear friends.
Cool.
I don't think they listen either. None of my
Okay.
friends listen to Dad Jeans, by the way.
You know what? I've decided that it's not a deal breaker.
No. In fact,
some people like it, some people don't. Some people don't even listen to podcasts.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
What are they supposed to do? Stop everything they're doing and listen to me talk at them and you?
That's true. But there are certain people that I know I get irritated by who are constantly writing on Facebook, "Hey, what podcast should I listen to, you guys?" Who are like my friends, and I'm like, are you not aware of what's happening like every week that I'm posting about? But so sorry, carry on.
Oh yes, no. Oh yes, indeed.
Yeah, you know these people.
Oh sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I always dutifully write dad jeans.
Yeah, I've given up. It's like this. It's just like even more
We
embarrassing.
need to put this out. You know what? It's better if our friends don't listen because then we can
Don't.
tell them the stories again.
We can talk, and we can talk about.
We can talk about them.
Fucking jabronis.
The jabronis.
Bunch of jabronis.
Bunch of jabronis.
Okay.
So Catherine and I are talking, and she's somebody she's the loveliest person ever, and is genuinely interested in your well-being, and will be like, "How is it going? Like, what's going on?" She remembers things from like weeks ago about like things going on at work.
Give me more of those.
Oh, I know. And she's like, "Oh yeah, I remember that." And then she has stuff, and because she does, you're like, well, "I should remember what's up with it. What's going on with that thing?" You know, blah 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 blah.
Right.
And there's a serious reciprocal curiosity about one another.
Yeah,
and
that's
she leads with
conversation.
that.
That's connection.
That's fucking conversation, Jeffrey Densmore.
That's connection.
You have it too. As I was dwelling on this,
I feel curious.
I was ranting to Emily about the lack of reciprocal curiosity in the world.
No one ever asks questions.
No one gives a fuck.
No.
Yet
Agreed.
you do.
I do.
And I appreciate that about you.
Thank you, Brendan.
You're welcome.
Because I do care.
Yeah, you do care.
I do. It's
Not everyone does.
I'm not putting on airs.
You're not a wait to talker. You're a listener. You don't wait to talk. You listen. Are you waiting to talk right now?
Did you just say something? Because now I'm going to mansplain to you my opinion on reciprocal curiosity. Yes. No,
Okay.
I was waiting. But sorry, go ahead.
So like, and I was thinking like, my dad was a Catholic priest, right? Mm-hmm. And so people are always bending those dudes' ears. Dumped on those.
Yeah.
So I have my friend Brian is a Catholic priest, and I want to be like, Brian, does anyone ever turn to you after they fucking dump all over you and be like, but Father, how are you?
How are you?
And the fact that they don't means that he lives in a world of fucking narcissists to the horizon.
You have a friend who's a Catholic priest?
Yeah, get a load of that.
Backtrack on
Yeah,
this
I know,
one, rewind
right?
it. Does he live here?
No, it was in Seattle.
I want to hang out with that guy.
Yeah, he's a very interesting, wicked, funny dude.
Really?
Yeah.
I hung out with a pastor, and then my cousin is married to a not Unitarian, but it's like similar. It's in those veins. What is it? New something.
Oh, one of those diet religions.
Yeah, but it's like I've seen him preach before, and he's amazing. Actually, like it's very like inclusive sort of message, but it's very like inquisitive. Like it's very. It feels like there's no. You're not like looking at 2,000 years of history with this religion. You know what I mean?
Yes, right.
But not in like an annoying way. Like I used to date an evangelical woman, and I would go to church with her where like there were rock bands, and everyone was like praising Jesus.
Oh, that
and
Christian
like,
rock can be the worst.
Oh, it was horrible.
The
trying
purple
so
lights
hard
and the fog machines.
just trying so hard.
And like Ovation guitars. We talk the worst.
Yeah, no, that was bad news.
It's the worst.
But it's not like that. It's not like one of those religions. It's like actually it feels good. It feels like religion done right.
Authentic.
But okay, reciprocal. Let's get back. Sorry, we got off track.
Well, I know. I was thinking about this sort of
Reciprocal
like
curiosity.
Yeah, and I don't deserve it because I have a lot to atone for.
You can't take the weight of the world on your shoulders, my friend.
No, perhaps not. But as I was driving over here, I chuckled to myself thinking that I would try and find a context for saying just because we're not magic doesn't mean we're not real.
Yeah. You got to say that.
He destroyed. It was so good.
Beautiful.
Oh,
we're talking
so
about
poetic.
the,
Jesse Williams.
Jesse Williams speech at the BET Awards.
Oh my God.
No, and just like the way his delivery. I'm like, that guy's going to be the president someday. Like he's
oh my
running
God.
for office.
K-bombs.
Yeah, no, that was
And you know the most interesting thing he said was it is not the responsibility of the brutalized to comfort the bystander.
Yeah.
No one talks about
Preach.
that. I mean, that is the thing.
But
where like white people feel enlightened, so they're like, black person, I'm interested. Aren't you flattered? Teach me.
Right.
And it's the black person be like, fuck you.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to get through my day.
Yeah, but you know what? That's like the and those are the good white people.
I know,
Like,
I know,
they're
exactly.
asking for
And so the spectrum of white people, you get like people who are overtly racist, and you can almost understand, but like that's like kind of refreshing compared to the like the lily-livered liberals who are still racist but pretending not to be.
There's still like NIMBYism.
Exactly.
But so this is one of my pet peeves in life you're touching upon is that I do like, for whatever reason, I do feel comfortable in that space where I'm not sharing, where I'm drawing someone else out.
So do I.
So like, yes, so I have encountered this so often in my life, and before I was in my 40s, like it wasn't acute really until I think I got married and started going to parties as a married person with other married people.
Yeah.
And like that's when people start to become more insular, stop sharing, stop like taking risks in conversation.
Yes.
Stop showing themselves, stop drinking as much, so they're not as like open.
Oh, they just don't show their ass.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like so I have found the majority of conversations I've had since I turned probably 35 to be excruciating and boring.
Me too.
Yeah. That's the only reason why I'm
Yeah.
sitting here with you tonight, Brendan, because you're one of the few people in the world that I do not feel that way with. That's how we've made it.
OC,
We've made it
motherfucker.
73 episodes.
Yeah, we've logged over 200 hours of just like having a conversation with each other. I can't have a conversation with anybody. And having just said all this,
No one.
when people do,
My wife. I like my wife.
I like my wife. I like your wife.
Hey. I like your wife.
Hey,
And Bob and Carol. And Ted and Alice.
consider yourself open-minded. So, when people do, having
Yes.
said everything I've just said,
Yes.
say, "But Brendan, how are you?" I get so uncomfortable, and I just want the attention off of me as fast as possible.
Yeah, no, I get that too. So then, in a way, is it a self-fulfilling prophecy for you and I?
Right.
That
I just want people to notice. Like the
Yeah.
best transaction is like I get a ton of shit out of them and we both have a good time because I ask them weird questions like what was the name of their high school football team?
Uh-huh.
And the ice is like fully broken.
Sure.
And then they're like, well, what about you? I've said a lot about myself.
Right.
And then I'm like, oh, I don't know. You thirsty? Who wants
I
a
gotta
drink?
go. Yeah.
Exactly. But then it's like, great. That person's great because they totally opened up and then they like, it occurred to them
Sure.
that they don't know anything about me and it hasn't been reciprocal.
Sure.
And then, then I dance out of the room and I never see them again.
Yeah.
But still, they noticed.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's nice, and I like the what I crave, which I don't get very often is I do deflect. Like I do feel like I'm kind of like they're like, oh, and what do you do? And I'm like, yeah, I'm a writer. I write like advertising and stuff like that. But like I don't accept that from people. If someone says that to me, I'm like, oh, what kind of advertising? Like, have you worked on anything lately? Like, what's what's that like? What's your day like? Tell me about your day. Like the follow-ups. People don't go through the follow-ups. I want someone to draw me out.
Yes.
No one draws me out.
I don't want to drop a name or nothing.
Okay.
But you know who does that?
Do.
David Sedaris.
Oh, to me?
I was his driver. He came to speak at
Oh,
Yale,
really?
and I was like, I had 15 minutes alone in a car with David Sedaris.
Wow.
Because I drove him from his hotel to a speaking engagement at school. It was like work study.
And did you start taking like really weird, circuitous ways of getting there so that you could spend more time with him?
I wanted to take him to Mohegan Sun.
Yeah.
And just like spend an evening at the craps table.
But he was just a conversationalist?
Oh, he jumped in the car and was like, so are you an actor? What do you do? What's your story?
Wow.
Oh, it's interesting. I have a friend about it. And he's like, he's the greatest motherfucker. He's exactly how you would hope he would be.
Journalists are good at it.
Yeah,
they're
he's a
very
writer.
good at it. We have a friend, Rostin's wife. Chrissy Clark, is a reporter for Marketplace.
Of course, I've met her.
Yes, she's great.
Dynamite
she's
lady.
a very good conversationalist.
She really is.
That's her job. That's her life.
I had a joke that fell flat with her. I'll never get over it.
Oh, do tell.
She was in Oklahoma after a tornado.
Oh, she told me that. Yeah. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Go.
That's very quick.
Thanks.
And she talked about how all the bark had blown off all the trees. And I said, those trees must have been so embarrassed.
That's great.
That's a good joke, right?
That's a great joke.
But she was still, I think, drenched in the sorrow that she had seen. Like, she's the one who had seen, like, dead bodies in the river, and I'm, like, making jokes about trees without bark.
Yeah.
I think she'd been home for, like, 30 hours.
Yeah, and that was a hard one. I remember that I'll tell you the story off the air. I probably don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but she had some situations in that like kept reoccurring through the next like 2 years of her life.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Trees
like
without
people,
bark?
No, just like people who needed her. Like that she met.
Oh.
And she was like the one person.
This is a thing that happens to reporters.
Yeah. You have to distance yourself. You have to
Yeah.
learn to be distant.
But you got to
right?
get that quote. So you got to get in bed with them and take all your clothes off.
Exactly. And she had some very hard soul searching moments.
Oh yeah, they're friending you on Facebook, and then they're popping up, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Hey, so I'm not kicking. I haven't kicked meth yet."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know about this. You're in an offshoot of the journalism world.
In motion graphics.
No,
Oh, you
your
mean my-
brother-in-law.
Oh, my brother is a reporter for the Boston Globe.
There you go.
Yes, correct.
So you know what's going on.
I know
you know
what's
what's
going on.
up.
I know
You're
some of
hip.
the Fourth Estate.
We're in Either Way It's Gone. I have another one
Oh,
similar to yours
bring it.
that I texted you the other day.
yes.
I'm looking at Brendan. I'm looking at most notably the thing that brought this realization home was our episode with Kyle Jarrow.
Yes, of course.
Quite
Two
some time
episodes.
ago. 2 episodes in which we were talking about gender.
I think about that all the time. Go on.
I do think it was a great conversation.
Yeah.
But gender is, not just the whole thing about like we're not going to ask. It's going to be like something
Private.
like
Like how you vote.
Sure. But the fact that there are so many options
Yeah.
now, like I was just talking, like there's a couple at our school who it's 2 women. One of them is sort of boyish in her dress, but like not like what you would refer to as butch, I guess,
Sure.
but not transgender, and that is called gender queer.
Oh, I see.
So there's another.
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah. Where
variation where you're
it
still
just
a
lifts,
woman.
It lifts your eyebrows.
You're fine with being a woman. Mm-hmm. She had a baby.
Queer in the old-fashioned sense of the word. Like,
There you go.
That's queer.
Yeah, I guess so. But so there's just so many different things that you can. There are so many different
Like a super tomboy.
identities that you can have now.
Does she have to be a lesbian to be genderqueer, or can it be a straight woman who just is such a tomboy? She's also sort of genderqueer, or does it involve
That's a wonderful question. I don't know.
because you can be whatever you want, or could a straight woman who's a tomboy choose to identify as genderqueer?
Any of these options are possibilities. So this is one thing. Marriage now. There's not just one option for marriage.
Nope.
There's several options for marriage.
Sure thing.
Well, I guess there's really only 3 options.
The heart wants what it wants, as
heart
Dennis
wants what it
Kucinich
wants.
said in 2008.
These 2 things are related, I guess. But politics, like I feel like we were seeing, maybe not, who knows? We'll see. We'll see. I feel like we've probably been at turning points in our political system throughout our entire history. But it certainly feels like the possibility of more parties is becoming realer
Can you imagine?
today.
Oh, I know where this is going.
So where this is going is that, Brendan, I believe we're evolving past binary thinking.
Jeff, that's a major statement.
And,
This is how thumb on the pulse you are.
oh, thank you.
You
My
invent
thumb is
words-
right inside the pulse.
Your thumb is
Wiggling around inside that pulse, making it feel
your
good.
thumb is checking the pulse's prostate.
Basically, my thumbnail is all the way up inside the pulse. No, but I'm feeling as if this is like imagine kids being brought up in this world
Yep.
in which everything around them is not just
Republican, Democrat, male,
2
female.
different choices, and
Chocolate, vanilla.
race is like,
Race, yeah.
There are many different options
Show enough.
in race today
Yep,
than
yep.
like there ever were before. Like
Game
and
of
I think-
Thrones, Newhart.
and I think what we're seeing, Game of Thrones, Newhart.
Yeah, it's a binary.
Okay, you're either one or the other.
Yeah, chocolate, vanilla.
That is very much like the Beatles or Elvis, or
Beatles or Elvis.
Beatles or Elvis,
Game of Thrones or
Game of
Newhart.
Thrones or Newhart. Yeah, no, I'm a Newhart guy. I gotta say, I gotta be honest. given the choice,
Too much violence for me in Newhart.
I know it was a little bit. A lot of boobs too.
Yeah.
A lot of rape in Newhart. Larry, his cousin,
Larry,
his brother,
Daryl, and
Daryl. Yeah,
There was
Well,
only
I don't know
one
what was
Daryl. That
going
my
on
mind
there.
exploded in that sort of crazy Fight Club episode where
Right.
the Daryls had only been one the whole time.
Wait, what?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay. Because the ending of Newhart was
Was
when
the
he
great
wakes up in
was one of the greatest
Brilliant.
endings of any series of all time. Google it, everybody.
Anyway, so yeah, no, I'm just we talked about this before. Like you have said that you are you have a hard time getting past your binary thought.
Oh, I'm stuck in the 20th century when it comes to that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. In the future,
I'm hoping I can
kids of
get
the future.
Yeah, add a 2 to the binary code.
They're just going to see pathways.
Yeah,
there aren't choices.
Like like Grand Theft Auto
resolutions.
Yeah,
A or B.
Yep,
there are pathways.
Yes. There is. I would even go you one step further. I was reading the book Present Shock, which is sort of a response to Future Shock, and he points out. Actually, I don't know if he mentioned, speaking of Game of Thrones, but just sort of in general, nowadays narrative is not linear. It introduces a world. Right. Just like Grand Theft Auto, Game of Thrones, and you even in the opening sequence of Game of Thrones you just swoop around the planet for a while and there's all this shit going on, but it's non-linear,
right?
And that's so it even beyond pathways. It's just it's planetary,
right?
Everyone lives on this little planet where there are missions you can go on in any direction.
Yeah, that's very video game world.
Yeah,
but like, and I feel like there was a hypertext, when that came around, like the whole
hypertext markup language.
Well, the whole idea of the internet is that you click on a link, it takes you someplace. Click on another link,
you follow your
But
nose.
like when I forget what there's like a specific type of writing, like, or literature, where it's almost like choose your own adventure, where you're like reading a book and then you click to someplace else, then you click to someplace else,
heavily cross-referenced,
and it never really took off. It was kind of like this weird internet experiment, but I think we just weren't ready for it. And I think we're getting to that. Yeah, like what you're saying is that we're losing our insistence that there has to be like one path, right? And we're okay with there being multiple paths. Like Game of Thrones, maybe you're into Game of Thrones, you watch you can watch supplementary material that continues the story out in this other way, and then you know more about Game of Thrones than the guy who's just sitting on his couch and watching, sucking up at each episode or whatever. Yeah, I think what's going to start happening is it'll be those virtual reality, and it'll be Game of Thrones meets Slacker meets virtual reality roller coaster, where you just follow characters. Sounds lovely. Meets Faith No More or Dark No More or whatever the fuck. No, Faith No More. Keep meets going Faith, with that, baby. Meets Faith No More. Meets Martha Quinn. Yeah. Meets Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman. Yeah. Meets Mojo Nixon and Skid Roper. Skid Roper. I like where you're going with this. Meets Mr. Roper. Yeah. Meets and Mr. Furley and both of the Furleys. And then Three's a Crowd, the sequel with Jeffrey Tambor. Meets Manchurian Candidate. I love it. I love it all. Janet and Jack got married. No, they didn't. Yeah, that's what Three's a Crowd was, wasn't it? What? Janet and Jack living together. They were married, and he married Jeffrey Tambor this other lady. Oh, she was just out of nowhere. Jeffrey Tambor played like 9 characters over the course of Three's Company. Yeah, and he's been the same age for the last 50 years. Oh yeah, he was always the balding guy. He was always Jeffrey Tambor. Amazing. Yeah, so good. Okay, so that's it. End of binary thinking. Mm-hmm. You're right. I think you're right. Thank you. And it's blowing our minds. That's the generational divide right now. Is that our kids are going to have like millions of choices, and we're just not going to be able to get it. Because we're like, where's the binary? Where's the pathway? Where's the binary thinking? Yeah, exactly. Where's the this versus that? We're going to poo-poo it. Yeah, it's not this versus that. It's everything versus nothing. Right. It's all versus all. Yeah. There is no versus. There is no versus. Let's get rid of that versus, Jeff. Get it out of there. Jeff, you are the Pulse's butt plug. Thank you. Thank you, Brendan. I just think so. Should I put that on my business cards? You are the butt plug of the now. The Pulse's butt plug. I've been looking for actually a description of what I do. Your head is rammed so far up the zeitgeist's ass. I hope so. You're talking out its mouth. Well, it scares me though. I don't like it. Get writing. Do you like the death of the binary? The death of choice? We are witnessing this. Yeah. Our parents lived through like the civil rights movement and the women's all those movement things, social changey stuff. We are living through like paradigm, like actual massive
like fundamental paradigm shifts.
You know what this is though? This is the Harper's article that I dedicate the next year of my life to, and then someone else like scoops me like the episode before or the issue before.
Me, probably.
Yeah. All right, let's get to it.
Yeah, I'm going to scoop you.
Harper's off. There's no verses, Brendan.
The verses, there is no verses.
We're together on this. Shall we move on?
It's not me versus you.
I think our listeners
They're so bored now.
They're so
like
bored.
They hate us.
Yeah, they hate us.
I'm sorry, you guys.
You guys hate us. It's okay. That's okay because we're going to move into, let's do eating our words. Can I do that?
Yeah, let's eat your words.
Let's eat my words. This is our new segment.
Our new segment, eating our words.
In our words, we never ever thought we'd be like this. Eating our words, our past projections were horribly amiss, and now we're eating our words.
Food.
Oh.
I swore I would not. I swore my kids would eat everything. I swore I would be good at. I would if they didn't eat everything that I would not be fazed by it, and I'm just not good at it, Brendan. I'm not good at it.
Oh,
Hazel,
yeah.
Hazel does not like a lot of foods,
Mm-hmm.
and like she eats, like they say that like does she eat some vegetables? Yeah, she eats some vegetables. Does she eat some meat? Yeah, she eats some meat. She will eat some of everything, but they're just so limited. I'm like she likes chicken. That's it.
Oh, well, there you go.
That's fine. I mean, you can be a rage vegetarian kid. She likes tofu. That's good.
Great.
But just the whole process of trying new foods, she just doesn't like doing it. She won't do it. She'll dislike something before she puts it in her mouth. Like she will make up her mind to hate something before she tastes it.
Yeah.
And just all this stuff I never thought I would deal with because I was like, we're just like Sarah and I
be different.
Well, just Sarah and I aren't hung up on food. We just like eat
Yeah.
anything, like we're not picky eaters. So I was like, where are they going to get it from if we're not picky eaters? But it's because it's the only thing they can control as children.
Exactly. And they're willing to go to great lengths. They're not constrained by societal norms the way we adults are.
Oh, no.
So they will fucking throw down
Yeah.
about an opinion
Yeah.
they're having.
Yeah.
Just because, fuck it, why not?
No, they're great. They're great negotiators.
Yeah.
Children are the Donald Trump of the child world.
It's amazing. Yeah. Children are the Donald Trump of children.
Exactly. I think that's...
I completely hear you.
Yeah. Have you ever struggled with this? Oscar's pretty good about food, right?
No, I mean it's a struggle every meal. Like
Really?
and we read all the articles, and we're like, you don't have to eat anything. You just have to sit here.
Right.
And if we wait him out long enough, he will actually start putting green shit in his mouth.
Okay.
Which is great. You
Yeah,
know, or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Like he eats pumpkin seed. I don't know. Like he gets his calories from somewhere.
Right.
And he's on the 50th percentile. Thank
Okay.
God, because he began on the 10th.
Oh, wow. Really?
yeah.
He doesn't seem small to me.
Oh, he was. We struggled. He was
Huh.
SMA to the double hockey stick for a while.
Interesting.
When he was
Okay.
first born, he lost a ton of weight when he was born. It was really scary.
Oh, that is scary.
And he had the flavor crystals in his diaper,
What?
which is a thing where like if they're that dehydrated, if they're just like starving to death, they get flavor crystals. So it was bad news. We had to get like specialists, and it was scary. For a
Was
while.
was it formula? Did you breastfeed?
No, we were like,
You
I don't
didn't
know,
breastfeed,
because we
but-
we tried to breastfeed. She did for like a month, but they could barely ever get a latch, and she had to
Right.
use the fucking like sombrero for a while.
Okay.
And then eventually she just like pumped, and then I fed him.
Okay.
Like she used the pump, and then I had like a little bladder I held with a little
God.
tube on my pinky that he would then go into his mouth.
Right. I seem to recall this. Like a
because-
little suckling pig.
Yeah, and it was really cute, and I felt very bonded to him. But the thing is, the fucking like the teat Nazis, as what's her name, Tina Fey calls them,
Love it.
are the worst.
Yeah.
Formula is fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
And state school is fine. Sure, you
fine.
give them formula, they go to state school. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Like this breastfeeding thing.
There's no way of proving any of this shit.
No.
It is just someone has taken it in their brain that like that's
Yeah.
the best way to do things.
And
but
La
there's
Leche
no-
League needs to like calm the fuck down.
Yeah, it's not easy, man. Yeah, Sarah had
It's
problems.
really
with,
hard.
Sarah had problems with Hazel. With Eli, it wasn't so hard, but
But like there are all these. There's not a support system out there for women who have a hard time breastfeeding. They think
Right.
there's something wrong with them and with the kid.
Sure.
And it becomes unnecessary.
it's a sign of your like your womanhood,
Yeah.
right? Like of your, like you're not a good woman. You're not doing, and already that like the first interaction you have with your child, you're a failure.
Yeah. And so what if instead we all as a society agreed breastfeeding is really hard and it's really hard to achieve.
Amen.
Some people get lucky enough that it happens, but a lot of people have to come up with an alternative.
Yep.
And that's what we all knew.
Yep.
Everyone would turn out great, and it would be just nothing but Democrats coast to coast.
They probably feel that way in other countries, right? I feel like that's a distinctly American thing to like shame. Shame is just so American.
It's such a luxury.
Shame is, it is such
It's like
a luxury.
it's like peanut allergies.
That is true. Yeah, like shaming people is like, or shame is like on the Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Yes.
Like shame is you're pretty high up. Like if
Yeah.
you have
Yeah.
the ability to shame someone,
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
if you feel
you've got
a vague sense of shame,
there's very little that you have to worry about. That's
yeah,
real.
your head is not being driven underwater by someone's hand right now.
Exactly.
It's like I can't promote.
Yeah. You're like, oh, I shouldn't have eaten that extra peanut butter bar at snack time or whatever. But the food thing, I never thought that I would have to deal with it in the way that I'm dealing with it constantly. And the anxiety that it gives me for no reason. Like she does eat fine, you know.
Yeah.
They both, you know.
Jeff,
Eli eats a lot, but
when we were cavemen,
yeah,
you can't keep your eyes on the 3-year-old all the time.
that's true.
And if they go off and eat bright shit,
Yeah.
they're going to eat a poison berry.
Right.
So they have to be finicky.
Sure.
In order to
Oh,
survive.
okay. That's smart.
Yeah, it's
That's
a
smart.
survival mechanism.
Actually, that reframes things. I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, no, they have to do it that way because
Yeah.
otherwise, left to their own devices, they're going to eat a poison. They'll eat whatever that shit is behind you.
Okay, but here's the thing that I struggle with is I say no to my children so much. So fucking much.
Yeah, man.
All day long I'm
Yeah.
saying no,
Totally.
So when she comes home from school and she's like, can I just eat some shitty like crackers or something?
Just
and
eat
like,
this doormat.
yeah. And so I was like, can I have some potato chips? I'm just like, fine, have some fucking potato chips. I don't care.
I know.
And she gets her belly all full and she won't eat her healthy dinner, you know?
Yeah, bro.
What are you going to do?
I know it's very hard. Like but you also want to give them a relief from their sort of stressful life. But that's a projection.
Yeah, because she's going to work all day.
But yeah, she is. But
Yeah.
no is a gift. Don't forget. And even if you're saying it all day long, and you still aren't going to be the face of no, because you can never understand how much they're obsessed with you.
Yeah, you know, I mean, God bless boundaries. I'm all for them.
Mm-hmm.
It's just difficult as a parent to always feel like you're disappointing them.
Yeah.
That's my struggle.
Yep.
Mein Kampf. That's Mein Kampf.
Oscar would be like, okay, so
That's all I got.
Okay, so Oscar, you know how he hits everybody?
Oh yes,
So
is
this
that still happening?
This is the latest. Yeah, Emily
tell me
read
the
some
latest.
article, and
May
she's
I?
like, oh yeah.
Church key.
Wait, did I already do this?
Mouse key?
Hold on a second. So Emily read some article, and she's like, oh my god, I'm going to read this every morning. It's perfect. It's totally working. But it's this like super nuanced, kind of sophisticated thing where it's sort of anti-punishment, like you guys are, but it's
Okay.
like.
I love it.
I
I
couldn't
love
even
it. Come over to our
possibly
side.
recount. Yeah, she's where you guys are at.
Awesome. Love her.
I couldn't possibly recount what it is, but it's like this way of being like, well, not this, but that, and blah, 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 blah. It's all very like counterintuitive.
Mm-hmm.
So what I came up with instead, because we agree, you know, mommy moms and daddy dads, is when he
I like that.
when
Actually,
he hits me.
That's a good. I like that. That should be a chapter in our book.
Yeah.
Mommy moms and daddy dads.
Yeah, there isn't
That's
one
good.
official way to parent that we both have to fall into.
Sure.
There are two ways because
that.
there are two parents,
That's
and
great.
biologically, like our humans are
You're
set
different
up.
people.
Yeah,
You're
and
not,
you're set up to have
it's
two
impossible.
different.
You
Yeah.
can't be following the same
No.
rule book the entire time.
For Christ, yeah, because
Yeah.
that's a recipe for fucking hating each other while you're trying to raise a kid.
Absolutely.
And so instead, like of being
That should be your
doctrinaire,
fatherly advice this week.
oh, maybe it will be.
Okay.
Wait, what is my fatherly advice? I have a different fatherly advice.
Okay.
But instead of being doctrinaire and being like, we have to do it this way because this is the doctrine.
Doctrinaire. Doctrinaire.
That is uncanny.
All right, go ahead.
We have our own blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Anyway, my point is, so when he hits me, this is what I've devised. I turn him upside down and I tickle him until he begs for mercy. Every single time he tickles me.
Okay.
And this is, I swear to God, and I know I'm using my might, and I know that it's bad to show.
And it's a form of torture.
And it's a form of torture. It's a form of torture.
Yeah.
And I know I will listen back on this, and I'm sure child services will be knocking on my door tomorrow for tickling my child upside down. And he like laughs and laughs and laughs. He's like, I won't hit you anymore.
Yeah.
He's laughing. But then for the first time ever, there comes a moment where he's about to hit me, and he's like, I'm not going to hit you. And he catches himself fucking in the moment.
But do you think that's because he's afraid of the consequences?
Or is that an issue?
Is it because that tickling, that horseplay is actually connecting with him in a way that...
Well, I mean, are there any answers?
Which path do you choose, Brendan? There are more than two.
Oh.
Could be a third or fourth or fifth or sixth or seventh path.
I take the seventh path.
Yeah, the binary is dead, man.
Yeah, the path of the seventh.
Yeah.
The path of the seven.
I mean, it could be like the way you're describing that, it sounds like that's a moment of fun that you're having together.
Yeah, I'm able to communicate with him like, oh, did you just hit me? I think you no, I didn't. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. I think you just hit me. Blah, blah, blah. And then blah, 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 blah. I won't do it anymore.
But okay, so it can't be that because it can't be the connection because then he would hit you more, wanting to get more of that. One would think.
He does not enjoy being tickled upside down. I will tell you that right now. I mean, no one does.
Right.
Yet tickle, you laugh, you laugh, you laugh. It's like very benevolent.
Torture. Yeah, benevolent torture. Have you heard about this tickling documentary?
No.
Oh, dying to see this thing.
Really?
So there's this guy in Australia made this movie about he saw an ad online for tickling contest, like who could sustain like being tickled the longest or whatever.
Do you die?
I don't know. Maybe
I would die.
I would never enter that contest. But it's I heard it described the Film Week people on NPR. Do you ever listen to that show? I like it, but it's just a movie review show. They review literally every movie that comes out that week, like from the weirdest thing, like Ugandan television
that's kind of awesome
release or whatever, like things you'd never hear of. Yeah, but this documentary, like all of the film critics agreed, it was the strangest movie they'd ever seen because so this journalist starts investigating this tickling contest, and he starts getting death threats from the guy who put it together, and then he like starts following like from one thing to another, and it turns into this giant like worldwide conspiracy that like some like insanely rich people are like connected to this like weird tickling subculture.
Are you fucking kidding me?
It sounds amazing. Yeah,
that's incredible.
I'm psyched.
I love that shit
so
can
excited to see this movie.
That makes me love this planet.
I know. So there you go. So that could be Oscar someday. That's what you're preparing him for.
Yeah, he's definitely headed for some eyes wide shut weirdness in some way or another.
Don't you see that though? Like everything you do to your child, like what fetish did I just create?
Oh yeah.
What fetish did I just implement in my child?
Yeah, big time. He's definitely gonna have those rings that he suspends like transients from his ceiling.
Yeah. Wait, why?
Upside down, so he can tickle them until they die.
I like that you say that though, as though like that's a common thing that we all know about. Like, those rings that you suspend transients from. Of course,
yeah, totally.
We've all looked at the Adam and Eve catalog, right? We know about those rings.
For Christ's sake!
Oh Jesus,
we saw that movie, The Cell.
Let's move on to what about we did Either Way, One Toe. I had a leisure class, but I don't want to get into it. Oh, I have a Kids Are More Important. What do you have? What are your
all I've got left is Spike Club and Fatherly Advice.
Okay, let's do a quick Kids Are More Important.
Okay, bring it.
Our hopes and our dreams are losing their steam. They're futile anyhow. Don't you know the kids are more important now?
Eli started daycare this week.
Oh my god!
I know it's horrible. It's horrible. I forgot how horrible it is.
Oh no. Is he having a hard time?
Well, I mean, as hard as any other kid, I think. Like, he doesn't, like, the first day, it was kind of like, okay, mommy's like, okay, see you later. And he's like, all right, well, I have no idea what see you later means. And then, like, the next day, he's just like, whoa, not that horrible thing that you made me do yesterday.
Oh, poor
and
kid.
Today was the first day that I dropped him off and he didn't cry when I left. Like, he sat down.
Did he push you out the door?
No, we're not anywhere near that. But he's like, and actually, I don't like that. They do that. They did that at Hazel's school, and I never allowed her to do it.
Oh, that's smart. We did it with Oscar, and now I realize that's probably a bad idea.
I just don't like the message it sends.
Yeah, it's a
just
weird
like,
message.
Yeah, shove mommy and daddy out the door. Like, get out of here. Like, it's just like leaving on this note of like
of aggression,
of discord and aggression. Yeah. So like, Hazel and I do kiss, hug, and very special bug every day. So that's our thing.
Very special bug. Do you eat a bug?
Yeah. Then I find the nearest like cockroach and I just
Straight up David Lynch,
Gobble
baby.
it
I love
up.
it.
Yeah.
And then Laura Dern narrates the whole thing
Yeah.
in slow motion.
And we have to smoke each cigarette down to like the nub in one breath. Like in Wild at Heart. Did you ever hear that story?
I've watched Wild at Heart a million times. Wait,
Those
what's the story?
close-ups of the cigarettes. Like she would have to inhale the entire cigarette in one breath.
What?
In
Why?
order for him to like shoot those close-ups of the cigarettes.
You're kidding me. And it was Laura Dern doing the cigarette thing?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. That movie is fucking amazing.
It's probably his most disturbing movie to me.
Okay, but I'm sorry, we have to do a quick sidebar here.
Eraserhead is the most disturbing movie.
Yeah,
but
Eraserhead. I couldn't even get. That took me 3 days when I was in high school to watch Eraserhead.
It's terrible.
3 days.
I admire you for watching it in high school, though.
Yeah, I was on a mission.
I had to. I was on the same mission. I had to track it down. It was really difficult to find. I had to go to like a video store in like Detroit to like find it.
Oh yeah, I had to walk.
And it was the most
2.5
disturbing
miles
film experience I'd ever seen.
Yeah, right. In order to do, yeah, exactly. So I watched Wild at Heart. I went through a whole David Lynch phase when I was in high school.
Good for you.
And I watched Wild at Heart once, and I was like, I can't take how horrible this is. But then I sat down with my sister's boyfriend, and as we began watching, when like Nicolas Cage is smashing that guy's head on the marble steps, he started laughing.
Okay.
And then I was like,
oh, is this funny?
Is this funny? Yeah, exactly. And then it's like Buffalo 66. Like, if you can get yourself laughing.
Oh, Buffalo 66. So funny.
So funny, but you have to know to laugh. That's what's amazing about that is the genius of Vincent Gallo.
Because it creates its own form of humor. Like
Right.
It's its own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to do the job of getting yourself laughing at all the ridiculousness.
Spanning time. We're spanning time.
Span time.
You point your knife at me.
span
So
time.
many good messages. So many good quotes from that
the
movie.
bathroom is out of order. It's so it's so good. It's so good. Anyway, that guy's
good.
crazy. That guy's fucking.
I think he's fucking crazy. That's why he only made one good movie, but it was the best movie.
He's
so.
really into my friend Amber's band, and when Amber comes through town and does a show,
What's that?
he's
Hospitality?
Yeah.
Oh.
He comes. He's in the front row just staring at her.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then
my
like
God.
afterwards, like buttonholes her
I want
for
to
like
hang
a
out
long
with Vincent
time.
Gallo next time they come to town.
Oh yeah, you
Why
were
do
there.
Why do you
were
know so
there
many
that
famous
night.
people? I don't remember Vincent Gallo.
Oh, I think you left early because after the show, I was like waiting to talk to Amber, but Vincent Gallo was like keeping buttonholing her for
Dominating
like
them.
15 minutes,
Ah, come on,
and she
Gallo.
like couldn't wait to get away. I shouldn't say this on the air. But she was like, Vincent Gallo's really intense.
Yeah, he's weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, next time they come to town, let's go see him.
Okay.
I'm sure Vincent will be there.
Where were we at before this?
The Echo. Oh,
No.
sorry.
I know. I remember the venue, Brandon. Okay.
The kids are more important.
Yes.
How did we get on that?
I don't know. I really don't know. I forget the path. Okay. Well, let's not stall any longer. Although Brian Perkins again is having a lot of problems right now. Should we do Spike Club? So
Let's do Spike Club.
Spike Club and fatherly advice. That's all you have?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. But
You didn't prepare very well, did you?
I know. It's
I think we're doing pretty good. time-wise.
123.
Beautiful. It's
Yeah.
perfect.
It's a perfect episode.
We're sliding into Spike Club. Sliding.
Yeah,
in.
or letting Spike Club slide into us.
Sliding. Bring it in. Come into my loins.
Just remember to breathe.
Yeah, I've got my finger in your pulse. Spike Club.
Spike Club.
I hate you! I hate you! I hate you! Spy Club! I hate you! I hate you! I hate you! Fight Club! Fuck!
Okay, jokes.
Say more.
Just fucking people who tell you a joke.
Oh.
How do you respond to a joke? That's
Oh, right.
funny.
Especially if you've heard it before.
There's never...
You get to a certain age, you've heard them all before.
That is true. And just any... Like, jokes are... sometimes they're funny.
Yeah.
But it's the pressure to respond to the joke.
Yeah.
That is...
Yes.
That is the thing that kills me. That's what I hate. It's
Right.
like if I read a joke, maybe I'll enjoy it. Or if I'm watching a joke, or if I'm watching a comedian, like of course, like by all means, that's the proper venue for it.
But if one person is
if
telling
one
you a
person
joke.
tells you like, "Hey, have you heard this one?" and then they tell you a joke, and you're just like,
At the end of it, they look at you and it's like they're throwing a medicine ball at you. You fucking have to catch it, and it's heavy.
Yeah, and more often than not, like it's someone who does not share your sense of humor who's telling you the joke.
Yeah.
And they think they're telling you the joke that they think you will think is funny. And so then you're like having
Then you
to
learn
like,
about how they see you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just a giant pressure mine.
Yeah.
The joke.
Let's say
said that,
just the punchlines to jokes we've heard. I'm going to say one now. All right. Where's the chick with the abscessed tooth?
that's funny. That's
Okay.
hilarious.
Here's another one.
Okay.
Oh, I'm just looking around.
Okay, that's good too.
He took a crap in my pants too.
Why don't you the audience is dying right now. They want to hear the whole joke. You have to hear the whole joke because it's a good venue for the listener.
Uh-huh.
Like that's great. They can sit and they can judge and laugh or not laugh as they see fit. But you telling me would be awkward.
Just sitting here alone in your living room.
That's right.
And then I'd stare at you and be like, "What did he think it was funny?"
Okay, but Colin Wamsgams told me a really funny joke recently.
Oh yeah?
That I liked. May I tell it?
You may. Do I have to laugh?
Nope.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Look at me bug-eyed afterwards, and
This-
I'll be like, "Oh."
This could be a demonstration
Yeah,
of
and
our,
our listeners will be like, "Brendan has a fake laugh."
yeah. This. Let's see how it plays
I will
out.
laugh because in these moments I fucking fake laugh because I'm like, oh my god, everyone's gonna feel uncomfortable unless I laugh.
Let's see if you do.
All right,
Okay, you ready?
yeah, I'm ready.
Take a deep breath. This guy walks into a bar.
Okay, go on.
This guy walks into a bar.
Okay.
Half of his face is orange.
Uh-huh.
Bartender said, "Hey, whoa, hey, what happened there, buddy?" He goes, the guy says, "Well, I met this genie, and he offered me 3 wishes." The bartender said, "Okay." He said, "My first wish was for all the money in the world." So he gave me all the money in the world. Bartender said, "Awesome. What was your second wish?" Second wish was that I wish for crazy chicks, just chicks everywhere, just chicks blowing me every day. And I got them. Guy's like, "Awesome." Bartender says, "So what was your third wish?" So I wish that half my face would be orange. That's a pretty good joke, right? Was that an awkward fake laugh?
No, that was a real laugh. That was pretty
Okay.
funny.
That's a good joke.
That's pretty good.
But
Okay,
but that who wants to have that interaction?
blind guy walks into a bar.
Okay.
And he takes his seeing eye dog and he starts swinging him around his head.
Oh, I've heard of this.
Oh, God damn it. Well,
But
thank
what
you
is it?
thank
What
you for
is it?
telling
I
me.
just wanted to
And the
get a-
bartender's
take a
like,
look
"What the
around."
hell are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm just looking around."
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, but what was the one before that?
All right, this guy's sitting at a bar. We're telling jokes on our podcast, Jeff. This is how low we've sunk.
This is a
We're
joke
just
cast.
filling air.
Dead air. Dead air. Dead air. Dead
Horrible.
Air. Okay, well, okay, forget it. Done with the jokes.
No more jokes.
Give me a Spike Club.
Because this is your Spike Club.
I hated what we just did. I
Jeff,
hate us.
I hate us right
My
now.
Spike Club tonight is us. Dad selling jokes.
Jeff,
Yep.
there are 2 types of people in the world.
Okay.
People who realize...
Binary thinking.
I know, right?
Okay.
Yet I'm right.
Okay.
People who realize one should not refer to someone who's in the room in the third person, and people who don't.
Did you just refer to me in the third person in that somewhere?
Jeffrey doesn't realize...
Wait, okay, explain more.
Okay. Well, I was reading this book called The Pearl about a pearl diver. Remember that book?
By Lois
Lois
it's
C. Blattenstein?
It's like a children's book?
Well, they assign it in like 11th grade or 10th
Black
grade.
Pearl.
Maybe.
That's what I was thinking.
Or I thought it was just The Pearl. I don't
Pearl.
remember. It was like an
You're
indigenous...
reading a book about a clitoris.
Oh.
Yeah. How to find the pearl.
Speaking of which...
Pearl and the clam.
Yeah. there's some sort of maxi pad thing. I was reading this on Reddit. Someone pointed out that like there's some sort of tampon. It's called the Pearl.
It's called the Pearl. Yes. And my actually my ex-girlfriend worked at the advertising agency that when that product first came out.
Were they in on the joke?
That was her her tagline was put a pearl in your clam, bitch. Didn't fly.
I'd buy that tampon product.
But yeah, of course they must be.
That's pretty amazing. So in the book, The Pearl or the Black Pearl or the Pearl. No, the Black Pearl is like about pirates.
Maybe.
This is about like an indigenous peoples.
I read this in high school.
Yeah, we all did. Where like the guy dives and then I don't know, he dies. Or,
you were reading it recently?
No, I read it in high school, but I remember this particular part.
Okay.
Where
is that the book where I learned about like people who could hold their breath for really deep distances? Like somehow that's just like a thing I know in my head.
Oh yeah, those people who like
some people
have the weights and they hold on to the weights and then they swim back up to the surface.
Oh, I don't know about that one, but
that's some crazy shit.
People who snorkelers like who can go down like 100 feet in the water or whatever, and
yeah,
you know,
shit's bananas.
Okay.
Yeah, there's that type. No, this is another thing. Or maybe it was I Am Woman, Hear Me Roar, or maybe it was like something about some Indians or something. Anyway, the point is...
And I think you just offended like every
I'm a white
group.
Yeah, I'm a white
now.
Man in his 40s.
That's fine.
And I'm like, it was some book about otherness.
Okay.
That I was assigned in high school so that I would understand it.
Of course.
And
now you do.
And now I do.
Okay.
I'm living proof.
Yeah.
I'm enlightened.
Of the Pearl.
I've evolved.
The genius of the Pearl.
And so there's a scene where there's an indigenous person who is standing in a room with some white colonizers, and the white colonizers begin to refer to her in the third person.
Indigenous to where?
I don't know, wherever the country this book took place.
New Zealand.
Sure.
Okay.
And
a Maori.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she is the narrator of the book, so she's like, they didn't even realize it's rude to refer to someone in the third person when they're in the room. And ever since I read that in high school, I am acutely aware of when you're in a meeting or something and then you're suddenly being discussed in the third person. Like he, and you're like, I'm right here. And the older I get as a white man, the more my dignity is dented by like people. I'm like, hello, right. Enough with the third person. Let's have a conversation, not past me, but that includes me. I
see this happen with couples, and it drives me up the fucking wall when like you'll see like someone you'll be talking to a couple and like the husband will be like, oh, she always loves to have like my wife loves getting blah blah blah, and she'll be right there, and I'm like, don't speak for your wife.
Oh my god. And
it's so irritating.
Is she just sort of looking down and sad?
Right, yeah, exactly. Or like it works both ways. I don't think it's necessarily a male female thing.
Is it the alpha in the relationship?
Talk about their husbands. Yeah, that might be it. I think that's it.
I wouldn't know. I'm not the alpha in my relationship.
Is that true?
That I'm not the alpha?
Yeah.
Emily would also say she is not the alpha.
Really?
We are both the youngest of our families. There is no alpha. We're an alpha-less family.
Well, Sarah and I are second children, so we definitely there are things that we share in terms of like Sarah's sister lives out here, and we're just like, we followed her lead on so many different things, like where do we send our daughter to school? The same place
what's Julie doing?
Did. Yeah, exactly. So like, and I feel like this is the first time now that we're sending Hazel to kindergarten in a completely different school district where we've
you got in somewhere.
Well, we got into one place that Sarah went to tonight, and
how'd you feel?
They had just like a mandatory meeting. She's like, seems like a very well run school. They give homework every night starting in kindergarten.
Oh, Christ.
They don't have any art classes.
Have they ever heard of Finland?
Yeah, I know. It's just, I know.
Homework is really overrated.
Homework is awful. It's absurd. I didn't have any homework until I was in like 5th grade.
Oh, I got clobbered by homework.
Well, because you went to Boston Latin School.
Yeah.
Yeah. And trademark.
I didn't do it, but I was clobbered by
it. A traditional boys' school trademark. Like, what was their like byline?
Oh yeah, it wasn't a boys' school by the time I
school.
was there, but it was something ridiculous. A classical education, which is very much in the news these days. There's a big Black Lives Matter thing. Dust up. going on
Okay.
about
Tell me. Let's get current real quick.
Okay, so there are two students
I don't think
who
we've
put
done your
out a
Spike Club
YouTube
yet.
video. Huh?
Oh no, we're
We did mine.
We're in
We
the
done
middle of
yours?
the Fight Club. Yeah. I did the jokes.
Oh, the jokes, right?
Yeah.
So
Sorry, go ahead.
two students at Boston Latin School
Oh, that was at
did
Boston Latin.
they did a YouTube video about how racist it is there and how prejudiced in general.
Interesting.
And then there was like, and then there was like a backlash, and the headmaster has resigned, and then this other person has resigned. Like there's a huge this guy, Mr. Flynn, who I was in Guys and Dolls with in 1988.
How about
like
that?
he was a young
He
teacher
was
there.
hardly Mr. Flynn.
I know, barely.
He was-
Well,
he
in
was-
fact, he was nicely Johnson at the time.
Nicely.
And so anyway, Mr. Flynn just resigned also in protest of like all the shit that's going down, and like all the, and then there's the superintendent of schools is involved. Like anyway, there's this like huge dust up.
They realize that these kids don't see things in binary, right?
Well, and also if a kid is saying it's racist,
Yeah.
and let's say that kid is black,
Yeah.
and you are a white administrator,
Let's take a listen to him.
yeah,
But-
there are things you'll never understand about that kid's experience.
Okay. What is the dust up? Is it that is this the one about like that the canon is too focused on white men?
No, that's actually Yale, another
That's
one of
Yale.
the schools I've gone to,
Okay.
where they, an English poetry class is too much based on English men or something like that, or the English or something,
Okay.
like something
Right.
ridiculous. But the thing is,
Yeah.
there is a major Western Socratic Newtonian paradigm that fucking needs to be shaken to its core.
Yeah, no, I mean, I totally see like the backlash against that to me is so like the whole it's just so not demeaning. What's the word I'm like? Patronizing. Like when people are like, "Oh, you don't want to read Shakespeare in school?" Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like? It's not like we can all agree that Shakespeare was a genius,
Right?
but are there other things out there? Like, is there a history of art from other cultures
You know
that
who
we
else was a
could
genius?
stand to learn from?
Mulatu Astatke was a genius.
Okay. Is that ethno? Oh, I think I got that. You gave me that.
Ethiopian jazz,
CD.
baby.
It's amazing.
It's
actually.
fucking sick.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's so good.
But like, yeah, I mean, they're maybe, but I don't know. I don't know what exists out there. Like, is the publishing world was probably dominated by
Everything
white men.
was white men in their 40s, Jeff,
But so like history then is white men.
for the last 1,000 years. And then we'll look back on these 1,000 years because deep time is ahead of us, not behind us.
Sure.
We'll look back on the 1,000 years of the white man and be like, oh, God, everything was so boring.
Okay, but counterpoint, race is a fairly recent invention.
1875.
Okay.
Just kidding, because slavery. So long before that.
Sure. Well, definitely there was black and there was not black.
Right, there's
So-
black and the colonizers.
So black and many other things existed.
There was European and there was the rest of the planet.
Right. Okay. But European is not necessarily white.
Per se, but it was European.
And Asian was it was sort of separated by continent, maybe. And so like, I mean, definitely like Asia has its own traditions. Like if you were in Asia, you would be learning about completely different things than white men. Like,
Right. Well, true.
and that would be your foundation for what is everything, right?
Yeah, and the great history of science and math advancements in the Arab world.
Oh, right, yeah,
Has
exactly.
its own rich history. I guess I feel sort of completely when I say like the last 1,000 years of white male 40s oppression is the European narrative and sort of just the
Well, it's
that
I mean,
male
yeah,
gaze
in the U.S.
In the U-
particularly, like I
and
feel like
yeah.
and maybe Europe. I don't know. I don't live in Europe, but I definitely feel my education was very white.
Oh my!
It was
God.
100% white. Like
my
it was
God.
Black History Month was a bone that we had to throw. Like the local TV station would have bumpers about like facts about Black history.
Did I tell you about in 5th grade my textbook talking about George Washington owning slaves? that said he was firm but kind.
Of course he was. Of course he was.
That is the most despicable. Like that was the message that I was indoctrinated.
And
with.
you didn't think about it at that age.
Yeah, like
we had
he was firm but he was kind.
My high school history teacher showed us like Amos and Andy, like as an example of like. I don't even know what the point was of showing us this, but it was like, this is some funny stuff from the 40s or whatever. But it was like minstrelsy. Like we watched minstrel shows in high school, like and not as a commentary on anything. Jesus. Like this is how fucked up things used to be. It was just like, yeah, this is some good stuff from the past.
Yeah. We are the distance from the 80s that the 80s were from the 50s.
I know. I don't even want to think about it. I don't even.
And
want
so
to
when
think
you think
about
it in that context, like we were cavemen.
Ugh, God. But like just thinking about like what the way I viewed American Graffiti or like Happy Days.
When in fact that would be
children of today would be.
That would be Valley
Girl
Girl starring Nicolas Cage.
God bless you, Valley Girl, starring Nicolas Cage. Okay, we've moved really far off left field, but I feel like that was an interesting discussion.
Indeed.
Everyone was happy for that.
Everyone is enriched.
Oh, we should say right now, if you're listening at this point in the episode.
Yes, indeed. If you've made it this far,
yeah,
you deserve a lot of accolades.
Yes, and our friend Brian Kahn.
Approbation with distinction.
Our friend Brian Kahn, who has a YouTube series about guys eating donuts.
Yep, the donut guys.
The donut guys. Is that how you could find it on YouTube, do you think?
Shit, did I just say that wrong? I think it's the donut guys.
That sounds right to me. Yeah. We haven't really looked it up. But like on Twitter a couple of weeks ago, there were a couple of people responded to our initial request for text us or hashtag something if you're listening this far.
Tweet this word if you've made it this far.
Yeah.
And people did, including Tiffany Hudson, our Fop of the Week.
Yeah, a few people did it. They listened all the way through. So Brian Kahn suggested, what was it? Chocolate donuts? Hashtag chocolate donuts?
Chocolate donuts.
Something like that?
Yeah.
Or did you had
I had a sit down with him today. No,
Okay.
he sent me a thing that actually isn't online yet, but I got to watch him do a little acting. He's not an actor, but he's a fucking natural.
Really?
Oh, it's amazing.
Oh.
He has such a good deadpan. He was born for this.
Love
you know,
deadpan.
he was also he worked on the show Golden Girls.
Didn't know.
Yep. I think he was on the writing staff of Golden Girls.
Wow.
Yeah.
Brian Kahn, give me a job. I'm desperate.
And you're very talented. So is Brian Kahn. The two of you would
I'm
make such beautiful
I'm more
music
desperate
together.
than talented.
Well, it's always a horse race.
But let's do. Can we arrange something? Can we arrange a dinner with these people?
Yeah. Oh, why don't we all have a 6-way?
Let's have a 6-way. Okay, that's off. That's personal business. But
Let's have a key party.
Tweet. Yeah, absolutely, no problem. We've got a really nice big fishbowl, just waiting to be filled with keys. Tweet hashtag chocolate donuts if you're listening.
If you've made it this far,
podcast.com.
Yeah.
And let's do fatherly advice.
Oh, fatherly advice. Here it comes.
Help me, Daddy. Fatherly advice. Help me, Daddy. Fatherly advice.
Jeffrey.
Okay. The key, Brendan, to creating something of artistic merit is to find the cadence.
Just say it exactly like you just said it again.
Okay. The key to creating something of artistic merit is to find the cadence.
Okay, now say more.
Okay, so you... I will say more by giving an example.
Even better.
I've been working on this film script.
I see.
Because I have no work right now, and I seriously need a job. Brian Kahn seriously
I know a director.
Oh, Brendan Hughes?
Who doesn't direct.
Well, that's, I mean,
who's been waiting for his big break.
I'm rating it for you to direct.
Really?
I would absolutely give it to you.
You know, we have a camera.
I would be 100%.
And I'm an editor.
Pleased
I've taught myself how to do all this. I can even do color correction, for Christ's sake.
Well, I don't want it to look like, someone's student film. But come on.
It would be an honor.
If we can find someone to give us some money, I would be so happy.
Fuck money.
I would be over the moon.
Let's do it on weekends.
To have you direct this thing.
We own a camera. We don't need money.
Okay. Okay. But anyway, I'm writing this thing, and I was trying to shoehorn. I had this intellectual idea of what I wanted it to be, and the script was telling me that it didn't want to be that. And so I finally was just like, you know what? I'm going to give in to what the script wants itself to be. And in doing so, I found the cadence, which is the meter, the rhythm.
Yeah, the rhythm
of
going to get you.
Of the writing, and it just flowed from there. So like to me, and I had like scenes that were just like they didn't match the tone of like what I set out with or what I was feeling. To me, it's all about consistency.
Yeah.
It's finding the right cadence, and it doesn't have to be. You don't have to be that writer who is like you could tell from the first sentence that this is by XYZ. Like it's not about always having the same cadence to everything.
No, sure.
You know, it's
Mammoth
not like
style.
You're right, Mammoth or
I'm buying a house.
Social Network. Like
yeah.
You can tell anything that dude writes.
Right.
But to me, that's just like that's a trick. Like you figured out a trick, and then you just keep doing.
Yeah, it's just
trick over and over.
the Pomeranian that does a backflip.
Right. Exactly. But no, like find what fits for the piece.
Yep.
And as long as you figure out what that is and you can sustain it, then it will be good.
There are 4 kind of writers in this world, Jeffrey.
Listen to this. This isn't binary. I like it.
I know. I'm trying to embrace it.
Yeah.
Okay, here are the 4 kinds of writers.
Okay.
Writer A.
This is just off the top of your head.
Yep.
Okay.
Writer A just writes shit, and it just comes off the pen, and he just sort of like writes what he intended to write, and it's fine.
Yeah.
Or it's good, or whatever, or lightning strikes, or it doesn't, or blah, blah, blah. I can't
And
remember
then
why
you
I
give
said
him
4.
notes, and he gets really angry at you.
And you
he's
don't
like,
see
"Why
him for
don't you
10
love me?"
years, and then he appears at your daughter's wedding with a gun.
Yeah.
And then there's the writer who, as they're writing, they hear a knocking at the door, and they realize that's what this piece is wanting it to be. There are 3 types of writers. I'm sorry, there weren't 4.
Yeah.
And
fuck the fourth one.
Yeah, the 4th one is just an alcoholic.
He was. Yeah, exactly.
So they're writing, and there's a knocking at the door,
Yep.
and that's what this piece wants to be, but they don't answer, and they just
Okay.
keep writing because it must be what they envision because they have a view of who they're supposed to be. And then
my wife is walking through,
covering her face with her hand, which
covering
is the
her
second
face.
time.
I'm
which is
impressed
so
that you're
funny.
still awake, Sarah.
And then the
Yes.
3rd type of writer,
Yep.
and this is you, Jeff,
Me.
is writing along. There's a knock at the door, and it's what this piece is supposed to be, and they answer and let the piece in.
There you go.
Bam.
Thank you, Brendan.
Hi, Sarah.
I did that in this.
That takes courage.
Situation.
That takes courage, and that is your middle goddamn name.
Well, thank you, Brendan. But I felt like I had failed myself in a way because I was reaching beyond. I was like, I want to reach beyond and not fall into the trap that I would fall into normally. And I sort of, in some ways, gave up on that higher expectation. But it also at the same time, I'm like, is there anything noble in that higher expectation to like reach outside of what you normally do and like do something half-assed that's more, it's like do we want to really read the serious adult drama book by Judy Blume or whatever, or like J.K. Rowling, like what,
Right. Yeah.
I'm sure it's fine.
Sure.
But it's like, is it?
Well, this is a big question.
It's
I mean,
not
like,
Harry Potter.
Once you never want to be someone whose name people know because then there's an expectation and you can't ever divert again.
Right.
Justin Kirk, the beloved actor, American actor.
How many names have you dropped on this?
I know this is awful, but no one.
No one expected Animal Hospital.
He's got a new one coming out called APB on the Fox network.
He seems like a great guy.
He's a great guy. No, but the thing is, the
work.
trick is don't be a household name, and then you can keep reinventing yourself and not have to fulfill any particular expectations.
Yes,
but you can like work a lot,
or you can be Louis C.K. and reinvent yourself and
true.
Just be so brilliant every time you do it.
Yeah, that's true. But that you have to thread the needle of your shtick being reinvention.
It's its own trap. It's its own trap.
It's its own. Yeah. Or, right. Because if he does the same thing too much, which he might feel like doing,
right,
he'll hear about it.
But that's why, to bring it back to David Lynch, I mean, fucking leave this dude alone. Like, he's he's brilliant. Like, for Christ's sake, people are like,
true.
oh, that David Lynch shtick, you know? But it's
Right.
like, it's amazing. Like, it's artistry.
Sweet 208 does David Lynch is probably the pinnacle of his work.
Should we post that again? That was good. Okay, what's your fatherly advice this week?
Okay, my fatherly advice, I've said it before on the podcast, but I'm going to say it again.
More.
Never tell a story in which you are the hero or the victim.
Oh, geez, that's hard.
I know, it's hard, but if you live by this, it will do you well. Only tell stories in which you are the villain or a bystander.
Oh, wow.
Never tell stories in which you are the hero or the victim.
Wow, I love that.
Sunday night, I had occasion to sit around and enjoy
With
a
a bunch
cigar.
of non-reciprocal.
Well, this was an amazing thing. I haven't had this in a really long time, but it was me and 3 other guys.
Ooh.
Sitting
Thanks
around.
for inviting me.
It was not my role to invite you in this particular time. I was an invited.
Never your role.
You, sir, are A, one of my favorite people on earth, and B, always invited if I ever actually do something at my house.
Pardon me, what?
Jeffrey just put his asshole to the microphone.
Oh, that was just complete coincidence.
Anyway, so these are guys I did not know very well, but the point is, I found myself in the company of men. This does not happen at all.
Very well. In your own yard?
No. If it had been in my own yard, you would have been invited. I was invited to a place where cigars were had.
3 people you didn't know.
Well, no, 1 I knew and 2 others I didn't know.
And he was just like, come over, we're going to do a cigar thing.
Yeah.
That's what it was, a cigar thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And we sat there and...
Were they Cubans?
Yeah.
Oh, were they good?
Yeah, they go in you nice.
Could you tell?
They go in you nice.
You really could tell the difference?
You can tell. It goes in you like a raw egg.
I never got into cigars.
I smoked that entire fucking thing. And
Really?
then the next day, I felt perfectly fine.
How about that?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
So...
Keep going.
Anyway, we were
in the company of men.
I was in the company of men, and that never happens. Just like Y chromosome, as far as I can see.
Rare.
Telling like fucking hilarious, nasty stories.
Awesome.
And I didn't have any stories to tell. Like I'm sitting here, and these guys were all telling stories about being pulled over, drunk as shit, like stories from their teen years, where they lived. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like listening. And I kept like thinking like I should tell a story. I should tell a story too because these guys are like really laying it all out there.
Of course.
And all the stories and as I sat there, I was like, wait, but that's a story in which like I'm the victim or a hero or the hero of the story, but I'm not like a hapless villain or bystander.
Right.
I'm not like these guys are like what they're doing is telling stories that are very incriminating.
Okay.
And I wasn't even in the right mindset
Right.
to tell stories that were incriminating, but that's the mindset to be in. When you tell a story and bother someone else with your fucking autobiography, incriminate yourself.
Yeah.
Because that is the kind of thing people can connect to. But if it's a story where it's like something bad happened to you, and who gives a shit? If you're the protagonist, fuck you, you know what I mean? But be the antagonist.
Right.
And I learned so much that night from these guys.
Yeah, I think that's wise. I definitely see the hero, like, never tell a story in which you're the hero. You're totally right. Like, I know that story in my head of like, and then I says blah blah blah.
Yeah,
and you're like, you had
I
the
sure
best
showed
zinger.
them.
Yeah, no, you're totally right on that. That is a terrible way to tell a story. I feel like you can get away with the victim story though.
Tough.
Not like there's easy. My friend.
You have to be winningly victimized.
Oh, okay.
You have to be a winning person who is being victimized.
My friend did acid at Cedar Point amusement park.
That's amazing. I've been to Cedar Point twice
in high school.
That shit's the bomb.
It's an amazing place. Yeah, but he did acid and he got busted, and he was put in jail. And his father wouldn't refuse to come pick him up, so he had to spend the night in jail on acid.
In Cedar Point jail?
I think it was an actual jail,
so not under a roller coaster.
He had acid with him, so like, but spending the night tripping in jail. So clearly he was the victim in this story, but that's that's an amazing story, right?
But he's the villain from the point of view of his father.
Okay, there you go.
And from society itself. Like he was incarceratable.
Okay.
That's the kind of stories these guys were telling. Like you could look at it that way.
Right.
Or you could look at it like they fucked up.
Right.
And he,
okay.
Like he fucked up.
So when you say victim, it's nothing of your own doing. It's like the world is against me.
Yeah, those are the stories. Not to tell.
Yeah.
I mean, exactly.
Okay, I buy it. That's great.
Yeah,
That's
I was
fantastic.
sitting there that night with those guys. I was like,
Good
fuck,
fatherly advice.
I have been thinking about just the act of storytelling itself all wrong.
I want to hang out with those guys.
Me too, man.
That's good advice.
Who are
you
those
like
guys?
those? You like those guys?
Yeah, I like those guys.
Let's talk off air.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
I think we should put this bitch to bed.
Yeah, what is it? Put this pearl in your clam.
Put this pearl in your clam, bitch. Oh, that's a good episode title too.
Put this pearl in your clam.
Put a pearl in your clam, bitch. All right,
chocolate donuts.
Yes. Good night, everybody.
Good night.